Good evening, everyone. Um, how's everyone going? I'm good. Um, we've got someone here in the stream already. That's awesome. Welcome. Um, always happy hermits here. Awesome. How you going, brother? Actually, I just saw there's a live stream going right at the moment for Ajahn Brahm. So you're missing out on that being here. So I'm honoured you're here. I'm just hanging out, dude. Red Rose is here as well. Awesome. So it's good to see you both here, and you know, um, oh yeah, awesome. So you were just there watching and it's a 50th anniversary or something. So I didn't know. Was it 50th anniversary for him? Because I didn't think he was. Oh, maybe it would be because he start in the 70s as a nun or not nun, a monk. Um, yeah, I just saw the title and I didn't check it out. Freya's here as well. Awesome. Good to see you all. I always appreciate just the community here and people enjoying the company. Like that means a lot to me, and that we all enjoy each other's company. Happy Hermit says, "Yeah, forget what the anniversary is of. Yeah, it's something that's 50 years. Awesome. Australiana's here. How you going, Australiana? So good to have you here. Like, and I look forward to hopefully going and seeing one of your wreaths that you've made sometime in the next few weeks. So that'll be a really good thing for me to do. So I look forward to that. Um, everyone's saying hello to each other at the moment. Freya says, I'm just up late working on some crochet. I'm making for the kids for Christmas a scarf for my daughter and a hat and some gloves. That's awesome. Yeah, Freya, I'm going to learn how to crochet myself because I wear beanies all the time, especially in winter. I wear beanies all winter. So it's probably about time I learn how to crochet so I can make my own beanies. And I was talking about it with the people from the training session with the carers network, and she does crochet, and she's got a group going where they teach people how to crochet, and she said I should come along to it. So I'll either go do that, and because I need to join a social group of some description, so that might be a good thing for me to do to push me to like socialize. I mean, I love how we socialize here, but like this would be like in person type thing. I also like learning stuff off YouTube, like learning to crochet off YouTube. There's thousands of videos. So and apparently beanies are really easy to do. You just keep increasing the number of I don't know what you call them, knots, crochets. They're not knit. They're not, I don't know what you call them. Yeah, Freya says that's mostly where I learn. Yeah, you totally should. Meditative for me and also good for my hands. And Australiana says, "G'day, I'll send one." Awesome. How good's that? That's so awesome. Yeah, Freya says, well, over your side of the pond, I think they call it loops. Over here, they call it stitches. There you go. See, I'm learning. Happy Hermit says, anyone else's chat show up weird that when the emoji spam warps to another line, or is it just on mobile? I don't know. Maybe maybe that happens with when there's lots of emojis. May I don't know. Especially it's different when you watch a stream on mobile phones. So I hope it's fixed up now. Australiana says, hi with the hugs and kisses. You guys can put your things in my portal. Nanu, nanu. That's it with the wreaths. I think that's so awesome you did that and you're still making them. Like, it's amazing achievement. Yeah, honestly, wreaths have gone nuts and disabilities are about to get work. My induction is Stephen Fry dancing with the birds. That's classic. Um, the It's just amazing, you know. That's such an achievement. Over 1,000 wreaths Australiana's made. That's like amazing. Freya says mine looks normal. It might just be, I don't know, something to do with the stream. Sometimes it goes like funny. A few weeks ago, it was cutting out and all that sort of stuff. Freya says, yeah, that's so awesome. And the reason has a very powerful esoteric symbolism. Yeah, there is something very powerful about wreaths. And it's a healing thing too, you know. It is. I said the wreath. It has powerful backstory. Yeah, definitely. So I usually start these streams with the like I talk about my week, and I won't take too long with it this time. Not much. Like, there was a few sort of minor emergencies. Like, they were actually almost major emergencies. Like, but they weren't. So I had a few difficulties through the week. I didn't get much done. I didn't leave the house again. So now it's 3 weeks since I've left the house. So I've got to break that this week. I've definitely got to break that. I had my third mindfulness lesson where I was a teacher, and it was quite embarrassing because of what happened during the week. I got distracted. Like, there was one of the emergencies, and I lost track of the days. So I completely forgot all about it. And it was in the afternoon that day. I remembered I had meant to be teaching someone mindfulness in the morning. And so I felt so silly. And I messaged the person, and they were completely understanding. And so it just meant I did the lesson the next day, 24 hours later. And it was really good. So the third lesson went really well. And I'm getting really good feedback. And I'm getting more confident with it. The lessons are going to get more complicated as I go now, because the practices that I'll be teaching are a little bit more complicated. But they're not that much more complicated. I'm confident I'll be fine with it. So I've got 3 more lessons in the 6-lesson total. And not much else really. I said in the community page, I bought a microphone for my camera. It's like a little microphone that like clips onto the camera. I can plug it in straight into there, or with a lead, I can put it somewhere along the thing, and it means I can do live streams with a better quality microphone. So you'll see me going for walks down the creek and maybe doing a live stream down the creek, or at the park, or up in the rain, not in the rainforest, but up in the bush, where it's close enough to the cell towers to get reception. So that'll be awesome, you know, and not just live streams. I'll be able to use it for doing just pre-recorded videos where I don't have to take my good camera and my audio recorder. So it makes it easier for me to actually just talk in front of the camera, and I don't have to edit the audio and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's going to be something that didn't cost me much money, and it's going to help improve stuff with the channel, but also like it's going to force me to um, be in public more. I'm going to try and um, because I've been so isolated, I really need to do something about it before it goes too long. And I can be one of those people walking along with a cell phone in front of them, talking to a camera. I can be one of those people. But it's for a good purpose. I'm doing exposure therapy to cure my anxiety. So if anyone thinks I look silly, I don't care. Um, so yeah, so that was my week, um, and um, I'll try and keep up with the chat, then um, I'll do a bit of the talk which I planned. So um, yeah, Happy Hermit says, oh no, Red Rose says Australian made. Wow, that's really amazing. And Happy Hermit says, yeah, what kind of wreath? Like the twigs and leaves. So that's interesting. Like might be made out of vines or something. Um, Happy Hermit says, oh no, Freya says Thanksgiving was only time I left the house in weeks and weeks. Also, yeah, it happens, doesn't it, Freya? Like um, all of a sudden, like weeks go by. You know. Red Rose says, yeah, Freya, same for me. Australiana says, as many Reese as days, my sister has been gone now. Oh, okay. I'm really sorry, but I didn't know that was the meaning. Wow, that is full on. When I say wow, that's me being shocked. I'm sorry when it's my reaction. Um, Sometimes I don't know how to react with uh, that's that's it really puts meaning to what you're doing, Australiana. Like and it, it's I guess something very special what you're doing, and you're getting to um, put bring joy to other people's lives. You know, like I think of people that are just doing their like you're putting these wreaths in shopping centres, and that people just going to do their shopping, and around this time of year, a lot of people are stressed out and upset with just stuff going on. People are often stressed out at this time of year, and I think seeing a handmade wreath at when they're at a shopping center would be really nice for people to um, they would see it, and they'd be able to tell that someone put energy into it, and it's not like some plastic Christmas thing. It's like a real thing that's got meaning. So, and now I know you've shared with us that I'm really sorry to hear that you lost your sister. Hey, that's really sad news, and like doing this is it puts a lot of meaning to it, and um, I I think that it's a healing thing, and um, so I will um, definitely push past my anxiety and make sure I get to one of these places to go and spot one of your wreaths, um, and I'll take a photo of it and put it on the community page to show that my appreciation for what you're doing, and I appreciate it as well because I haven't been out of the house for so long. Like, and when I do leave the house, it's at 4 in the morning. To go to the service station to get milk. You know, so this is pushing me to really Um, um, I have to do it now. I have to go on. Um, I'll make a like I said, I've got my psychologist appointment in a few weeks. That's near one of those places, so I'll I'll make it part of what I do that day. Um, so I was talking for a bit, so I'm just catching up now. Um, Freya says, but yeah, no, just I didn't fully read the rest of your comment, Australiana, because I got sidetracked. Um, but it's as many reads as days my sister has been gone now to look at them very real. This is sudden and in sleep just after the weirdo. One got one good shock works over another. Being in an obsessed mode. I think what you're doing is amazing and powerful, and it's such a healing thing. So I'm just going to keep skipping to Australiana's comments. Um, yeah, got a wee validating time with my daughter also. Am listening, stay productive. Oh, so you're making reads while we're chatting here. That's awesome. Keep making reads. How awesome is that? Australiana's making reads. I love it when people tell me what they're doing while they're listening. Some people um, cook meals. Like last one or two streams back, Baby Stag was like um, cooking like full meal on the stove, and it's like I was like, oh, that's so awesome, like, and because it was like one of those streams, like I think it was maybe last Sunday, because she's in America, so it's like right now it's like 3 or 4 in the morning for most places in America, so it's like, um, and so yeah, I'm imagining you making the wreath now and listening to me talk. So keep making those wreaths, and I look forward to seeing them. And um, she says Australiana says use Canva, so that must be like a vine or a plant of some description. So now I'll catch up with everyone else. So like Freya says, well, don't be yourself up to probably showed your student a good example and how to be humble, making mistakes, and to keep on pushing forward. Thank you very much, Freya. Yeah, it did turn out really good in the end, and I had a chat with him today as well about music, and I made it like a challenge that if he starts writing music as well, I'll start get back into playing guitar. So that was a really good. I had a really good chat to him about how music is a really good healing thing to do, and how music is also like mindfulness as well. You can, treat it like a mindfulness practice. Um, so that was an interesting thing that happened today, and that was, I guess, something that happened this week. Um, so I talked about writing songs and writing lyrics, and I used my poetry as an example. Yeah, that was another thing I accomplished this week. I finished typing up all my poems, so I've got like 158 poems plus 54 haiku poems. So I'll reduce the haiku down to about 30 of the best ones. And I might reduce the overall poems down from 158 or whatever it is down to maybe 130 or 120. Like, pick the best ones out of, but I've typed them all up and it's awesome. So it's an achievement. So I've got them all sitting there. So now I've got to do the arduous task of taking each file and copying the compiling it, copying the poem from, because each poem's written in a separate Word document, and then so I've got to copy them all into one document, and maybe look at the layout of the poems, whether you center them, make the words bigger, change the font, that type of thing. So yeah, and I'll keep catching up with the chat. So I pretty much got through with so there was actually quite a lot of achievements this week when I look back, and it's good to do that, looking back and look at your wins. And actually, I had quite a few. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with myself now that I realised that. So early this morning was when I finished the last typing up the last poem. And there might be a few that are somewhere in books which I've forgotten about, but I think I got them all that I've written in the last year. So I'll catch up with the chat now. Red Rose says, Freya, yeah, I was so happy that I did get out. Yeah, well, the Red Rose, you did, didn't you? You went to Thanksgiving, so that's really special. Freya says, me too, and I was so grateful for the support you guys showed me in perfect timing 2 days before Thanksgiving. That's awesome, Freya. Like it, when you joined, we all, well, I sensed it, and we all sort of sensed it that you needed to speak. You felt like, and it was so we gave you the opportunity to just speak, and it's good like that, So it's like the chat. The chat is different every time. So we don't know. Like today, I've got the topic is self-care techniques and healing modalities. So I guess once I start talking about it, the chat might talk about all that stuff for a while, because it's a good topic. We can all share what we all do. And I've already had these streams before, but I think it's something good to do every so often, because we can always revisit what it is that we're doing. Like Australiana's making wreaths, and she's made 1,000 wreaths. Isn't that that's an amazing accomplishment, and really special. And that is the healing thing and a loving thing too. Like it really means a lot. So Australiana says, got a wee validating time with my daughter also. I'm listening. Oh, that's right, I read that one. But that's and you're listening and making the reads at the same time. So I love that. Red Rose says, Freya, love hearing that. Yes, you're supposed to find us at the exact moment, which you did. You're at home here. Kat's here. Awesome. How you going, Kat? I always love when I see you in the chat. Hi, guys. I hope you're all doing well with the smiley face. Well, see, I'm smiling. So it's always awesome. I've had a really good week, really, now looking back at it all. So I'm doing pretty good. And yeah, this next week, I'm definitely going to go bushwalking and yeah, and I'm actually going to finally get there after 3 weeks of trying. So I'll get there. Freya says, yes, I feel totally at home here in the group. That's awesome. Red Rose says Australiana made 100%. Red Rose also says, hey, Kat, with the roses and the hearts. Freya says, hello, Kat. Red Rose says, thank you, Kat. And to also Sky's here. Oh no, I'm still catching up. Everyone's saying hello to Kat, and everyone's saying goodbye. Not goodbye. hello to each other. Red Rose says, Australiana, yes, there's so much love there. It's a beautiful thing she's doing, isn't it? And I've got to say, like that song, Australiana, and all those 3 songs are amazing that you've got on your YouTube channel. Yeah, the lament song is really special. You got an amazing voice, and the way you play guitar is amazing. I hope you're still playing. You know, if you're not, I hope you get back to playing again, because you got a talent, and it's just, yeah, really special. If you are happy with me sharing, I can put a link in the community page so people can listen to your song, because it's pretty amazing. Freya says, should make a wreath with laurel, very powerful symbolism. Sky's here as well. Awesome. Hey, Sky. Sky says, hi, everyone. The Red Rose saying, hi, Sky. Are you sure's here as well? Awesome. See, so good. We're all here. Are you sure says, hi, everyone, with the smiley face. So good. And thanks for showing us that app. Are you sure? I'm going to show everyone that app in a little while, which is, it's a really special app, and I haven't really used it much, but I think it's something I'm going to use a lot, and I just like how it works. It's really well made, and I like how it's not about making money. Like the company that made it, I think, want to just spread awareness and help people through something positive, you know. So, and it's so well made. It's really good quality. So I'll show everyone the app in a little while. Freya says, hello, are you sure? Just love the name. It makes me laugh every time. Yeah, it's a lovely name. Sky says, thank you very much, Freya. I appreciate your support. Freya says, yeah, I play guitar as well. It's been forever, though. I need to get back into it also. Yeah, well, let's all make a challenge that we all get back into playing whatever instrument. You know, like there's a lot of us here play guitar, and we should all get back into it, you know. Like we've got book club, maybe we should have music club where we all learn a cover. Once a month we pick a song and we all have to learn it, and then everyone, if you've got the capacity, maybe you can record it and put it on YouTube. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, you could send it to me, and I could post it on my channel or something. I'll make a special playlist. How's that? Let's do it. We're starting music club right now. So it'll be just like book club, except we pick songs. So everyone have a think about what song you would love for people to learn, and the rules are it's got to be simple, not too many complex chords, and it can be a little bit complex, but not too complex. And it's got to be just a short song, like classic 3 minutes or something, 3 to 4 minutes. And it's got to be a special song that has some significance to you. And that can be played on guitar or piano. So that sort of covers most sort of instruments. So yeah, who likes the idea of music club? I reckon it's awesome. Let's do it. It'll get me back playing guitar. So I have a think about what song, and then later on I'll catch up with the chat, and then we can start talking about what songs. Because even if you're not going to be in music club and play a song, if you don't play an instrument, maybe you've got a song you want to suggest for us, and we'll get a list once we've got about 10 songs. I'll do the same thing. Like I'll randomly pick it out of a hat, and we can. Our challenge is everyone's got to learn how to play that song, and you got 4 weeks to learn. So that's awesome. Um, Also, with the book club, I've read the first like one. I don't know if I'm even through the second chapter, but I started that book, Enduring Love, and it's pretty interesting. I like the style. I think it's going to be a good book. But I did put it down because I was trying to finish another book first that I got to take back to the library. So I will get back to reading that. So I will definitely have it finished by the book club time to talk about it. Weaselbox is here. How you going, Weaselbox? Good to see you here. Weaselbox says, "Hi, Luke. You seem so much better than you were 2 weeks ago. Thank you. You've noticed. I really am better. Like, it's amazing how much like, and I was going. I think I re-traumatized myself, and I got I got stuck in a rut. And thanks for noticing. And that yeah, I do feel a lot better now. I haven't had many off days in the last 2 weeks as far as trauma triggers, which is really good because I did a couple of weeks ago. I was pretty severely triggered for a few days, and I think I re-traumatized myself. But maybe it was healing in the end because things got better, and I did talk about it, what I did. So I went through, I did mindfulness practice of fully feeling when I was triggered. So I spent a whole day actually focusing on the pain and acknowledging it, and at the same time I wasn't paying attention to the pain. So not paying attention. I was paying attention to the pain, but I wasn't paying attention to what it was, like the things behind it that causes the pain. And after a full day of fully feeling that pain, it sort of faded away. So I think that worked, and it's a big part of mindfulness is accepting and fully feeling emotions, good or bad. So I spent a full day focusing on it, I think that really helped. So I'm going to keep doing that. Next time I get a major trauma response, um, I'm going to do that same practice again and see if it works the second time, because I don't know if it really worked. It just happened to work, so I can't. I've got to try it a couple more times so I can be sure that it's actually doing the job. But I haven't had since it managed to get better. And I have had a few times, like last week I did get a little bit upset and triggered, and I sent like text messages to a couple of friends about how upset I was about things, and then that turned around, and I got better after that. So I did actually get stuck in that again, but like I said, it got better because I think even the text message I sent to people was basically saying, like, I deserve compensation for what I went through, but I'm never going to get it. because there's too many. It's too difficult. There's too many different people like that. I would be uh, trying to get compensation for. It's not. It's not going to happen. But I affirmed what I'd do was if I got it, I would actually start a charity to help people, and I'd basically put all of it, almost all of it, into a charity and start a charity. And then I came up with the sort of I'd already been working on this concept for a not-for-profit charity type thing, and after I sent this text, I felt sort of embarrassed for what I did. But then I realized in the text, I said, I want to start this thing and it's this dream of mine. And then I'm like, well, even if it's a dream, I should still keep working on it, and maybe it could make something of it in the future, like even in a limited form. And as a result of that, what I did was I started a Patreon to try and help get my book, my self-published poetry book, funded. So I'm going to set it up so people can pre-order the book. So it's like they can buy the book, pre-order it, and that actually helps me. That helps pay for because self-publishing, I've got to pay for it. And then I came up with this idea, which I put it in the community page, and I got a lot of. Oh no, I didn't put it in the community page, I don't think, but I put it in other social media, and I got good feedback. I've got this concept, right? Is with the Patreon, and this was Happy Hermit helped me. He said I should do this to get my book published. So thank you, Happy Hermit, for inspiring me to do this. But like what I'll do with I can have a thing on Patreon where people could donate, right, to mindfulness exercises. So as money's available, I will take on a new person each month, and they get free. They'll get 6 free mindfulness lessons, 1 hour to 1.5 hour lessons, maybe even longer. But 1.5 hours is a good amount of time. And we do them over the internet, so they could be anywhere in the world, and they get them for free. So if someone donates to do the mindfulness lessons, someone gets free mindfulness lessons that have got complex trauma. So that means that they can spend that money they can spend that on going to see their psychologist or some other healing thing. And so if you look at it, it might only be 12 people per year get put through this course, and but that's 12 people that get to learn mindfulness for free, and it's paid for by someone donating money. So I still actually get reimbursed for doing the lesson, which I'll do at a reduced rate. So the person who donates knows that someone's getting a free lesson. I get employed to do mindfulness training. And that's the other thing. I found out my insurance is only going to cost me $260 for the mindfulness. So I'll have that set up soon. So I did actually a lot of stuff last week. So I hope you guys like the idea for the Patreon, where it's not, it's actually going to a really positive thing. So if someone donates towards the mindfulness, they know that someone's getting a free lesson, and I can have a thing where people can apply to be on the list, and as the money's available, they get, so if you're, I'm still taking, I still need to teach people while I'm learning. So if anyone's interested, I'm still taking free, I'm taking on uh, students to teach a 6-lesson mindfulness introductory course, because I need to practice being a teacher. So you get free 6 lessons. We do over Skype or Microsoft or Zoom, Microsoft Teams or Instagram video chat or Messenger or whatever. So if anyone's interested, email me on my email's there, and we'll organise a time. And I've only got limited spots, so I've got maybe 2 people I can do this for in the next month and a half, and we'll do the lessons once a week. And so anywhere in the world, as long as you got good internet, we can do it. So if you're interested in learning mindfulness, I'm happy to, and it's free. So this offer's still available. And then, like I said, I have that thing with the Patreon, so that in the future, someone can donate. I get paid to teach, and someone else gets a free lesson. So everyone wins. How good's that? Like, it's such a positive thing. So I'll set up a thing where I'll have a short list of people that want to do it, and then, yeah, I'm really excited for that. So I'll make a specific tier on Patreon. You have tiers for certain things. I can sell my book as a pre-order, so people can buy the book, and they're helping me self-publish, because I've got to save up the rest of the money anyway. So anyway, I'll stop talking about myself. But yeah, it's like, so I actually did get a lot of stuff done this week. So I've been chatting so much, it'll still take me a while to catch up with the chat. How cool is that? The next comment I get to, and it's Freya saying, "Are you going to self-publish?" Awesome. Yes, I am. So there's a few different companies that do it, but I've picked one that's pretty good, and they've got print-on-demand services in America, Europe, and Australia, and they also distribute to all the big stores and distribute ebooks as well to all the big stores. So I've got to pay for the service fee to do it, but then I get all the royalties from the books that get sold. So it works out good, and I can actually, I got a lot of control over the book itself. So it's going to be maybe 250 pages, which is pretty amazing, because with the number of poems. And then I'll talk about it a little bit more later. Oh no, I'll talk about it now. So I'm going to have a section that's either 5 pages or up to 50 pages long, which is all about what healing, self-help, and what practices I do. And I've got a list of them all here, which I'll talk. This is what the talk will be about. Hear my Aussie accent? Be about. So yeah, self-funding, self-published. So I've got to save up. So it's going to cost between $1,800 Australian and $6,000. It's not going to cost 6,000. It's probably going to be around 3,000, because there's less words with the poetry book. So the cost is per word for things like design and editing. So if I can pre-sale a couple of books, that'll help me. So, and the other thing I can do too with the self-publishing, as soon as I save up the first payment, which will take me early January, I'll be able to I'll save up enough to do that, to pay for it myself. It starts the process happening, and then I can pay it off over 6 months. So they've got a payment plan, so you don't have to pay it all up front. And so I'm excited to work with this company, and they like the idea. I spoke to them about my idea of having a section that has talks about all the different healing techniques that I practice myself and how they work for me. And I've got the list here, which I'll go through once I caught up with the chat. Then I'll start talking about the healing, self-care, and all that stuff. But how cool is that? Like, you know, the next comment was all about, are you self-publishing? Yes. So that's absolutely it. Red Rose says, hi, Weaselbox. Are you sure? Says, thank you, Freya. Freya says, yeah, maybe one of these days we could all get on live stream somehow. I've seen them before where people in different places play music together at the same time on video. That's an awesome idea. So with lag, the time delay, it might not work so well, but it can work if you can still jam along, but you might get like a feedback thing. We can work on that, and I can work on how it can work so that I can sync up the audio later after the jam session, and then put the audio together. I can work out how to do that. So even if that's a really good idea. Part of my mindfulness stuff is I'm gonna either pay for Microsoft Teams, Zoom, or Google Meet, and I think Microsoft Teams seems to be the best value for money. And if I do that, then if I've got a paid account, I can put out a thing and I can have like 100 people. Same thing with Zoom and all that. If you pay for it, you can have lots of people in the video chat. And so when I launch my mindfulness business in late January, I'll have one of those. I'll have you get a yearly account subscription, and it's either going to be Zoom or Microsoft Teams. They seem to be the best two, and then Google Meet's the next one. So really good question. And so that will happen. So we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to do streams where I can invite like 100 people or more and we can all be there on the screen just like that. So that'll happen in the future. How cool is that? So you can't do any of that stuff with the free versions, you know. Weasel says, hi, Red Rose. Red Rose says, Luke, that's a huge accomplishment with your poetry. Know how hard you've been working on this project. Thank you, Red Rose. It's going to take me a while to catch up. I'm going to go as quick as I can. I see Go Fast is here. Awesome. How you going, Go Fast? It was amazing to meet you the other night when you joined right at the end of the stream, and it was really powerful what you shared, and you're a really strong person to recover through all that stuff. So yeah, Go Fast says, cheers, I just turned up on the phone and your live popped up. Awesome. What, so good you're here now. Hope you're still here. Like it's been a while. I chat so much, I get carried away, and then it is good when I catch up to the chat and like then we're all there at the same time. Bray says, besides crochet, I like to maintain my energetic hygiene by taking spirit baths on the full and new moon cycle. Yeah, I used to love going up the mountain on full moons and going for walks in the forest at night and watching the moon through the trees and getting scared by all the night animals. But it's not as scary when it's like full moon because you can see, you know. So that's a really awesome thing. And I haven't done that for a while, so I look forward to the next full moon. I'm going to do that. Are you sure? Says that's wonderful. Do a live stream playing music. Yeah, it's a great idea. We'll be able to do it when I've paid for a version of one of these. So I can just invite everyone to the one thing, and then you don't even have to have the app. You can join from the web page, just from the link. So you don't even have to download an app to do it. Red Rose says, hello, Go Fast. Go Fast says, I'm organizing hand tools in my workshop, kind of sacred space, and even treat it like a bedroom. Awesome. How cool is that? I've got heaps of my hand tools. You can't see them here, but like I've got a lot of my hand tools on display. Draw a knife. I'll show you one day. Wooden mallet. Got like, there's too many to show, but I've got files, hand planes, saws, chisels. What else? Hand powered drills. So yeah, I've got a lot of tools on that side. They're all my traditional hand woodworking tools. Oh yeah, a whole bunch of hammers, and yeah, a whole bunch of files, and yeah, I do need to give them a bit of attention because they get rusty after a while. So that's awesome though. I'll have to show you. One day I'll show you all my hand tools and stuff. You can see up on top of the speakers. These are like from when I was when I did handyman carpentry work. So there's some miter cuts, and some lap joint, the bits you get left over from cutting joints. They just look interesting. So I used to always collect the offcuts that were interesting. But that's awesome. Go Fast. That's your you get right into woodworking and making stuff. So yeah, Go Fast says, yeah, hello everyone tuning in from Southern California. So you're in SoCal. That's awesome. Fraser says, that sounds amazing. Go Fast. Do something I would love. Does something I would love to do. Also, sometimes I do that. Organize, just meditate, and whatever helps to clear out the cluttery energy. That's awesome. I'm gonna actually have to do that now. I'm gonna have to like go through and clean all my hand tools. It's about time. I need to do that before they get rusty. You've inspired me to do that myself. So, Red Rose says Freya 100%. Sky says I'm processing my partial diagnosis of BPD. That's a lot to take on. It's not such a difficult. Well, it's difficult, but it's not such a it's don't take it too harshly, complex trauma is essentially has the same like the DSM, or not even the DSM, just like a lot of people, the way they explain the effect of complex trauma, it has those same effects. So you could argue almost that most people that have complex trauma display aspects of BPD, and um, you're an awesome person, Sky. So don't everyone, like, there's a stigma with any mental health condition, and it shouldn't. I understand you're in shock, or it's shocking to you. Um, you know, complex post traumatic stress disorder is not in the DSM yet. Um, even even like the history for PTSD being in the DSM, it took them a long time, and it a lot of people were misdiagnosed or not diagnosed because insurance companies didn't want to pay out. Um, you had all these veterans that were being refused payouts and help, and so. But yeah, that's sort of going off track. Um, so I understand you saying you're in a bit of shock or you're processing, um, but just stay strong. You know, um, work with it, and it's like anything. There's it's like everything's on a different, like, there's like a spectrum of things. So don't don't let it affect you too much. You know, and it's yeah. I don't know what to say, but I hear you. And it is, I can empathize with you that things are confronting when you do get a diagnosis, and because it's not always correct. Things change, you know, and you can always get second opinions, you know. It costs you money though. That's the downside with this sort of stuff. Aishaw says, hi, go fast. Go fast says, Red Rose says, go fast, 100%. Freya says, hello, Weasel. I did not see you there. Weasels. I'm so far behind in the chat. I'm going to try and read these real quick. Might even skip over a few. Go fast says, I think this will be about as well outfitted and organised shop space has been. I try and save every two. Some stuff has been used to the limit or is cheap quality 40 years back. Yeah, I was like that. I bought a lot of cheap tools, and then, like, those traditional woodworking tools, like, I bought them all secondhand, and they're pretty good quality. So I've got, like, I think 7 hand planes. I got about 3 or 4 sets of chisels. I've got lots of stuff, but I've got most of the traditional tools. Um, so I do want to get back into woodworking. Where are we? Oh, that's cool. For those are going to be recycled into some welded art for friends, garage spaces, man caves. That's awesome. Take your old tools and weld them together and make sculptures out of them. That's a really great. People do some amazing stuff with all that stuff. You can get all your old drill bits and you know, yeah, it's amazing, some of the stuff. Chainsaw chains, old chains, or chain itself, like everything, anything that's metal, you can use, like, and weld it together and stuff, and repurpose it. Yeah, Freya says that sounds like an awesome sacred space. Um, Freya says, yeah, I checked that app out too. Are you sure it's pretty decent? Yeah, that's it. I'll talk about the app once I've caught up to the chat. Go Fast says, that sounds wonderful. I'd be up for it. Yeah, that's it. I think that's the music club. We're going to do music club. So maybe people have already put songs into the thing already. So yeah, Weaselbox says, "Lol, I'm too deaf for an instrument, but you guys play anyway." So that's the thing, yeah. Even if you don't play, like we can, um, you can maybe suggest a song, and then yeah. So um, where am I? Yeah, Red Rose says, "Yeah, go fast racing. Wow, I know that your work, your art is really phenomenal. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll be keen to check it out." Yeah, that's exactly it. Everyone throw a song in the hat and pick one at random. That's exactly it. So we'll make a list soon. I'll write them all down, and then we'll um we'll we'll have a short list of songs. How cool is this? Challenge accepted, says Freya. Yeah, that's it. We're all going to get back into playing music now. Isn't that classic? Freya says, "That's funny. You and Go Faster said saying the same thing at the same time, Luke." Yeah, that happens. There's a lot of synchronicities happen on this channel in the chats, especially with the chat, the way it goes back and forth. Because I'm like reading the past, and then everyone's commenting on it and saying, "Oh, I keep catching up." It creates this really amazing dynamic because we just keep going over the topics, you know, and revisiting topics. Um, Are you sure says I started playing djembe drum. Awesome. Djembe is awesome. So you can do the song on djembe, you know, and how cool's that? This is going to be awesome. Um, Freya says, "I love it. I'm in for the challenge." Yeah, this is awesome. I'm really excited. It's going to get me back playing guitar now. So Freya says, "I already know what song I'd suggest. First thing, John Pine and the Bonnie Rat, Angel from Montgomery, the acoustic version." So I'll start writing in any suggestions now. John Pine, Angel from, and Bonnie Montgomery from Montgomery, acoustic. We've got the first one. So yeah, just start putting songs into the chat, and I'll write them down. Freya says, "I wasn't there for the book club. What are you reading?" Yeah, it's been answered there. Are you sure says Enduring Love, Freya. It's pretty interesting. Ian McEwen. Um, Red Rose says, "I love John Prine's music. Awesome." So there we go. Freya says, "That's one of my go-to songs. That one and Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd." Yeah, that's it. That is another good one, and that's a classic. That's Wish You Were Here is, you know, one song everyone who learns guitar learns. Wish You Were Here, pretty much, which is pretty awesome. Me and a friend of mine back in the day, like I think I've talked about this before, but I had like a mini book, chord book of Pink Floyd The Wall, and we used to play the entire Pink Floyd The Wall on our acoustic guitars. It was so much fun, just every song, and we got really good at it. Um, you know, to the point we didn't need the book anymore. We knew every song. Um, so yeah, that's classic. So yeah, Wish You Were Here. It is a classic. I think it should go on the list. Freya says, "I'll have to see if I can find a PDF or audio version." Someone posted a link or posted somewhere in the community page. If you go to my community page and scroll down to the book club redraw, you'll see someone posted in there. But you can buy it off Google Books or whatever as well. Go Fast says, "Well, I'm glad you're on a better path currently. Thank you. Go fast. Yeah, goals don't fade. Just sometimes the predicted path has its unplanned heavy breathers. Yeah, totally. And like yeah, um, it's I think about what you endured and have healed from is phenomenal. You got such strength to survive and uh, to recuperate after all that. Go fast. I did think about you a lot after you shared what you went through. So um, you're a very strong person. And yeah, Weaselbox says, yeah, you were sad, but you're reliving it. Good. Red Rose says, Freya, I do love the song Paradise by John Prine, sorry. Um, that one of my favorite songs to sing and play on my guitar. Should I put that in the list or should we um, keep it to the other one? I don't know. I'll write it down anyway. Because I was thinking maybe we should limit one song per artist, just so that we don't get too many from the one person. But I'll write that one down as anyway. What was it called again? I can't even see the comment now. Oh, yeah, there it is. Paradise. Freya says, yes, sometimes I think we just need to work it up and purge, help us heal. They call it cathartic, I think. Yeah, absolutely. Catharsis or cathartic. Freya continues, we have so much in common, it seems like Red Rose. Yeah, that's it. We we all have lots in common here. It's pretty special. There you go. On Spotify, it's free with premium. So I think that might be the audio book for Ian McEwan's Enduring Love. So what are you sure just said? Freya says, well, I don't have Spotify, but my grown son does. He would probably get it for me. Yeah, so that's it. You can listen to the audio book through his. Just borrow his phone or whatever and listen to it, or get him to sign in. There's even a thing on Spotify with you can extend your account so other people, like you say, you're in the family, and then yeah, something like that. Red Rose says, Freya, yes, I agree. You have a whole lot. We have and are a whole lot alike. I think it's very awesome. Freya says, me too. I love you guys. You're a great group to belong to. That's awesome hearing all this stuff. Red Rose says to Freya with the hearts. Freya says, I think it's an amazing and beautiful, solid business plan. I'm really proud of you, Luke. And that's awesome about your insurance. It's like the universe is paving the way for you. Thank you so much, Freya. And that's it. Yeah, that insurance that covers me to teach mindfulness worldwide too, so over the internet. So it's really cool. Good thing about mindfulness is it's very safe. You can't really hurt anyone. It's almost impossible to make a claim. You can do the wrong things. And in that case, you're not necessarily covered. So I'll just stick to the scripts and I'll be fine. So it's just a necessary thing you got to do. Um, it's unfortunate you have to do these things, but I understand you do need it. So, but yeah, it's awesome. It's not too expensive. It's feasible. Um, but thank you for your comment. That's really special. Red Rose says, yes, a win for all with the hearts. Reflection. Weaselbox says, reflection helps you recognize growth. That's a beautiful comment. Totally. Red Rose says Weaselbox 100%. Freya says if it's done by March, maybe I can have my daughter buy it for me for my birthday. It may be, actually. I think it will definitely be ready by March. It takes up to 6 months, but because it's a poetry book, it's not going to take as long. So it might be, and it's print on demand. So you can, like, as soon as it's released, you can place an order and, like, you'll get it reasonably soon afterwards. Freya says, okay, yeah, even if it's not done, we can do pre-sale March, my birthday. Exactly. So you can still do it. Awesome. So I can say one copy's already sold. That's so awesome. Thanks for the support, That's really special. Freya says, yeah, is there any way I can get an actual signed copy? Actually, there will be. So, and that's what I'll set up on the Patreon, is that you could buy a signed copy, and it's going to cost a little bit more than the normal one because it'll get printed in Australia, sent to me, and then I'll sign it and then send it to you. So yes, that will be available. So that's awesome. That's going to happen. So I'll keep you updated with all that, Freya. I could even do a book review and promote it on my channel. Awesome. That's awesome. It's even better. Totally. I think there's a way you can overlay each separate recordings too. Yeah, there is. You can sync it all up. So there's free video editing software called DaVinci Resolve. It's brilliant. If any of you people are wanting to get into editing videos or making videos, DaVinci Resolve, the free version, it's awesome. Like, it's professional quality, and it's free. And, like, you don't, unless you're wanting to put a full on effects, you don't have to pay for it. So it's free. And it's really good quality, and it's so cheap to buy too. So if you are doing professional work, it's better than buying the other ones. I love DaVinci. I picked it up pretty easy, learned how to use it pretty quickly. It was a little bit daunting at first, but then I watched a few YouTube tutorials and then I picked it up. So yeah, totally. But yeah, you can sync it up using DaVinci and overlay it all. So we'll work out how we do these jam sessions. Freya says, yeah, talking and listening with you is so inspiring, gets my thoughts going. Awesome. That's really awesome to hear that. Go Fast says, still here. You're all good, brother. Awesome. That's good. See, that's how far behind the chat I was. That was when I was like, oh, I wonder if he's still here. Freya says, yes, I had another candle lit for you the other night too. Go Fast. Yeah, totally. It was, oh yeah, I've been thinking about your experience that you shared with us, and, like, it's very extreme, and such a strong person, and just to know that you're doing well now is really awesome. And I really appreciate YouTube algorithm that we got to meet each other, and you're here now chatting with us. And yeah, I'm interested to see what sort of stuff you make with your woodworking and stuff. Like, it sounds like you make all different stuff. Like, you do welding and woodwork, metalwork, carpentry stuff. So that's awesome. Aisha says, I'm looking to start a blog and record my journey. That's awesome idea, Aisha. I'll be reading it. I'll subscribe to your blog as soon as you start it. That's really awesome. I can't wait. This is so inspiring, hearing all this stuff. I'm going to hit the heart button a few times. People have been hitting it through the chat. So where are we? Sorry, I'm a bit lost. When I do the scroll, sometimes I get lost. It takes me a minute to find where we are. Um, Here we go. I'm catching up. That's so awesome. Are you sure? I really can't wait to see your blog. So just email me as soon as you've got it, and I'll even put a link to it on the community page, so other people can find you there. And I'll anyone who wants to, um, who's starting a project or and wants to share it, like I'm happy to put it on the community page so that people um, can find out about it and check it out. And I think that it's really awesome. So, um, Red Rose says, "Are you sure that is so awesome that you're going to start a new venture for yourself?" Absolutely. I can't wait. Freya, Red Rose continues, Freya, I just became your newest subscriber. That's it. Freya says, I actually have an older channel and that has more of my music and guitar playing on it. Well, what you can do is you can keep the older channel. You can either start putting videos back on that, or like the channel that's you're using now for the chat, that could be your new channel and you just use it for the other stuff. So, you know, so it's all up to you. You can do like, um, got options. Kerry J79, I do believe that's what it's under. I'll write that down. I'll check out your other page. Are you sure? Says, I'm going to find it, Freya. Yeah, awesome. Weaselbox says, keep loving yourself, Sky. That's awesome. Exactly, Sky. Absolutely. Absolutely. Freya says, thank you guys. As far as the timing thing goes, I'm a firm believer that everyone's is suffering from some sort of trauma. So just be proud that you're one of the people that have already started to heal. That's a really good comment. Be proud about that. We're all here for each other. We're all, um, you know, if there's good news is that we can heal, and we're doing it. We're doing it. And I agree with you. Everyone's got trauma, and you know if you've got more severe trauma than other people and you have to go through this full on healing process, that means you can teach other people what they need to do. And so everyone benefits by us doing the healing, and we need to do it anyway. Like we need to get our lives back. So um, Red Rose says, Freya, just subscribe to that feed as well. Awesome. Excited. Freya says, yeah, that's the one, the little bit older, but it has most of my guitar playing when I was teaching myself and whatnot. That's awesome. I'll check it out. Freya says, you guys got me blushing here over here, lol. Um, yeah, Freya says, yeah, big hugs, Red Rose. Red Rose says, Freya, congratulations on your new guitar. That's just so cool. No, you were happy, lol. Oh, no, not happy, lol. Happy lady. Are you sure? Says this chat dynamics is so refreshing. It's like time is irrelevant here. Exactly. It's interesting how it works, isn't it? Because I'm yeah. It's like, and we go through these cycles because I'm got to catch up on the chat all the time. As soon as I start talking away, it it happens again. So And I try not to skip comments, but sometimes I have to just to catch up. Freya says, totally agree. Are you sure? Red Rose says, are you sure? Completely agree with you. Your comment brought tears to my eyes. I feel the same exact way. How cool is this? I've caught up, I think, with the chat. That's amazing. I've caught up with the chat. So now we've caught up with the chat. We can, everyone can like put in the song that they think. Freya says, I totally agree. Are you sure? Yeah. That's right. I just read that. Freya says, yeah, that's okay. I'll explain to my daughter the whole shebang, and she will definitely be willing to buy that for me for my birthday. She knows how I am about books. That is so awesome. Like I can basically say I've sold my first copy of the book, you know, and I know actually Red Rose says she can't wait to get a copy. So I've sold 2 copies already. Red Rose says, are you sure? I'm sending you a big hug right now. Are you sure? Says big hugs back, Red Rose. Red Rose says, are you sure, with the roses and the hearts. So anyone who can think of a song, put it in the chat that you want to play or you think. I know, and this goes for anyone who watches this stream in replay. Put your suggestion in the comment of the video, and also I'll set up a community page post and you can comment there too. So we'll eventually get a list happening, but I'm trying to think. Whenever someone says, oh, what's your favorite song, it's like I get stuck and I can't think of it offhand. I'll have to think about it, because here's a good one. Seeing as we read Murakami for the first book club, and the book was Norwegian Wood. My song suggestion is Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. There you go. That's my suggestion. Anyone else can think of songs? Anytime through through the stream tonight, and anyone think of a song, just put it in the chat. And like the chat seems to have frozen, and there's 5 people in the stream, so just can someone put in the chat that the stream's still going? Like it could just be the chat's frozen, because normally it's very rare that I catch up to the chat, and it doesn't seem to be. But there's the hearts flying. I can see the hearts flying, and I just added a few. Yeah, Red Rose says I'm still here. Awesome. So what I know, Red Rose, you've got there's a few bands I could think of. I'm trying to think. I'm looking up my music playlists. I'm sure you've got. What about Brandy Carlisle? What can I say? I reckon that's a good one. Or Catherine McLennan, Sparrows. There'd be other suggestions, I'd say. So Freya says, I'm still here. I was just listening to you. Awesome. That's good. It has dropped down to 3 people, but you know, that's all right. It happens like that. Like the stream goes up and down. Sometimes there's connection issues, but as long as it's still streaming. I have noticed YouTube lately has had a few sort of glitchy things. It does well for like basically one of the biggest websites on the internet. Yeah, are you sure says yuppies, it's going. Awesome. So are you sure still here? Freya's still here and Red Rose still here. That's good. So yeah, any more music suggestions? But like I can go back to the while we're thinking of music selections, I can go back to the talk section. Here we go. We got 5 people back in the chat now, so maybe people dropped out and they've come back. So yeah, anyone who's here, like, you got a song you think you want us to learn for the music club, I'm going to write Brandy Carlisle. What can I say? I reckon that song should be in it. So Red Rose hasn't made a suggestion yet. She'll probably say the Eagles. So I know What Can I Say is got a really awesome, catchy, strummy song. Red Rose says wahaha. Yeah, that's it. What do you reckon, Brandy? What Can I Say? Should be on the list. So here we go. Freya says Shine by Anna Nalick. Red Rose says, I'm trying to pick one. It's so hard. Yeah, well, I've put down Brandy Carlisle. What can I say? But like, I can make that one of my choices. You can still keep that open. And what was the other one? Catherine McLennan Sparrows. That would be another good one. I'm writing it down because I reckon it's got to be on the list. So I've written down Freya's suggestion as well, Shine. Red Rose is still saying I'm trying to pick. But yeah, she's happy with those 2 I picked out, Catherine McLennan and Brandy Carlisle. But you can still pick one. Maybe pick an Eagles song because they are classic. I know that you love Eagles a lot, so that might make it easier if I narrow it down, give you the band, and then you can pick. Freya says, I like the Brandy selection and I like the Eagles. That's awesome. So there you go. That's a great song, isn't it? What Can I Say is like a really awesome song. It's like Red Rose says, yeah, all of my favorite songs. Well, that's it. Oh, look, it's gone to 0 now. So it's saying there's 0 people. If there's anyone in the chat, just let me know. The hearts are still going. No, it's saying there's 1. It's just dropping out. You can always watch it on replay, but it's sad when this happens. That people are getting dropped from the stream. Now it's saying 0 again. It's showing here I'm still streaming. Yeah, Red Rose says it. The number is messed up. Yeah, you're right. So maybe there's people still here. But we had lots of people here before, and it's just dropped off. But I mean, people get busy. It's Sunday night. They're doing stuff. People got to, like, in Australia, this is the time of night people are making dinner. So it's all good. Freya says, yeah, I love any song by Eagles. Yeah, so what Eagles, what's a really good Eagle song, you know. Think think fun to play as well. Pro says should be easy to learn too. Yeah, exactly. A lot of their songs would be good. Yeah, Freya says the number is inaccurate. That's well, it's good to know there's people here. Like I'll just keep chatting too. So like I'll go back. Everyone just keep putting it into the song ideas. Red Rose, pick an Eagle song. You've got to pick an Eagle song. So I'll go back to where here we go. So the talk section of the stream tonight, I was meant to be talking about my self-care techniques, and I'm going to start writing about all this stuff. Yeah, Are You Sure says I'm here. That's awesome. That's good. And you haven't picked a song yet, I don't think. Are you sure? If you can think of a song you want us to learn to play, even if you don't play. Oh, I can't remember. Did you say you play djembe? So I forget who said they play djembe. But yeah, anyone think of a song? But I'll go through this list of self-care stuff. So, and healing stuff. I'm gonna awesome. Go Fast is still here. So I've got this list here of these are like the things that I do and I've learned work as well. And I'm sure there's other stuff on the list, but these are just ones I thought of. And what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start writing detailed stuff about each thing, and then it's going to build up like a database, or like I might do like an essay on each topic. So self-care is a big thing. That's number one on the list. And I've got, this is my diary, and I've shown this before. I've got a self-care list in my diary, so I can just consult. If I've got time, I can consult it, and you have different things that take different amounts of time. Some things aren't achievable, like you can't go for a walk if it's a thunderstorm. So if you've got a long list of stuff, and say you've only got 5 minutes spare, I'll look on here, play guitar. I could play guitar for 5 minutes, or I could practice mindfulness. That's another thing on there. Something could take 5 minutes. Say you've got an hour spare. That's when you could like go for a walk, do reading. Like you don't want to read a book for 5 minutes. That's not long enough time. So having a list for your self-care practices, and then you can consult the list and breaking it down into things that are different categories. So it makes it easy to consult your list of things. You can put your self-care list on your phone, and then so you can just have it as a list on your phone and consult it that way. Grounding is the next thing on this list. So grounding techniques is a big healing thing for me because it helps me re-regulate and stops me from stressing out and all that. And writing poetry, that's a big, that's in my self-care list, but it's a really healing thing for me, and it has been a massive healing thing for me. Right to the point where I've basically written a book of poetry about healing and getting through difficult times. So it's very major for me as one of my main healing things. Lists. So making lists, and all different types of lists. So I just showed you a self-care list in my diary. In my diary, which, it's since I've got my smartphone, after not having a smartphone for so long, I'm not using the physical library as much. But I would use it to, you know, there's you write a list of what you want to do for the day. So making lists helps you get through helps you do stuff, and you can have short-term things on there. So like, you can have like a list that is similar to self-care, and it could be things that you want to achieve. And it could be something. You can have short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. And that they make lists, and then you'll be able to tick it off as you achieve stuff. I'm working on this mindfulness, nature therapy, like, business that I want to start. And I've got a like, here's a list. Oh, you can't really see it too well, but like, I've got a whole list of things to achieve what I want to do to start this business. And as I get things done, I can tick them off. Here we go. Insurance quote. I can tick that off because I did that. And I just realized I did complete the mindfulness course, so that I can tick that off. There's still stuff on there lots of things that I haven't done. So yeah, having multiple lists, such a major part of healing, because you've got goals, you've got self-care lists, and you also have daily activities or weekly activities, which you then use your diary, and that just helps you make sure you get stuff done. So for me, writing lists is very powerful for healing, because when you write stuff down, it's a big part of manifestation. And I saw the other day someone described the Latin meaning of manifestation, or manifest, is manus, which is the hand, and festus, or whatever it is, doing, or so work, or whatever it means. It means doing something. So to manifest stuff, you literally achieving it by doing the work, and that's literally what it means. So it's not like making something appear out of thin air like magic. It's doing the work, and that's how you manifest things, by actually doing the work. And it's amazing how things actually happen when you do the work. And anyone who's successful says, I did the work, and now it started paying off, and things started working for me. And so that's where lists come in as a very powerful thing for the healing as well. This is a list of itself. This is a list of healing things. So this is journaling is another powerful healing thing. And that's similar to the poetry writing, but journaling extends more into writing down your thoughts, and dealing with some of the trauma by writing down your experience of it. It can be healing to do that. Sometimes that can be re-traumatizing for some people, so it's not always advised. If you have what a trauma counselor told me, said, look, if you start feeling uneasy, just stop writing and put it away. Don't do it. Like, maybe you can try it again later, but like, if it starts to become a problem, just don't. It's not. You'll know if it's going to work for you. If it's it's going to work for you. It's going to work for you. But so there's so many types of journaling. Like a really good practice is gratitude, and so you could write down, and this is done based on research that was done of if you write down every day things that you're grateful for in a diary type thing, after a month, it will have a massive effect on your health. You will be less anxious, less depressed. You're you it increases your well-being dramatically. And so you can write, and this is a journaling thing, you can write in your diary 3 things that you're grateful for, and do that every day at the end of the day, you know. And then so I started this habit, but I didn't keep it up long enough, so I keep wanting to revisit it. So maybe I'm going to write that down on my list of stuff for today, because that's something I need to try. So the simple practice is write down 2 things or 3 things that you're grateful for. Write a note of empathic note to someone that you don't have to give to them. And they did this in the scientific research. You don't actually have to give the note to the person, but write something down empathically about someone. You know, you might have a friend who had just had a car accident, so you can write in your note, so and so, you know, I'm really sorry to hear that you had this car accident, and you know, I hope you get back on the road soon. I hope it's not too difficult for you. Hope you're not getting, you know, I hope you're not afraid to drive. You know, I hope that it doesn't cost you too much money. And you know, if they got injured, I hope your injuries are healing. You know, so you know, what 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for. Write a note of empathy to someone in your diary. It doesn't have to be given to them. And another thing you can write in as part of the thing is something you noticed in the day that is interesting. You know, it might have been, I noticed the birds were feeding their baby fledgling this morning, and it was really nice to see nature. Or there was a hoon drove their vehicle really loudly, revving it today, and I thought that was silly, you know. Or I switched on the news and there was a good news story, which, you know, doesn't usually happen. It's usually not a good something that stands out, something, you know, like something that you noticed. And that's the mindfulness aspect, where, you know, so this thing is very simple. Write down things that you're grateful for, write a note of empathy, and also write down something you noticed. You know, it could be the moon looked beautiful when it rose through the trees this evening. It might be, I had a really nice cup of coffee this morning and it tasted really good. Could be anything, just something you noticed. And you do that every day for 28 days or a month, you will have positive effects. And you know, something, maybe keep it up every day of your life. So people that practice gratitude daily attest to it being a really beneficial thing for your physical and mental health. Um, so yeah, other forms of journaling, writing short stories, scrapbooking. You know, some people do art journaling, where it's a book that you're not necessarily um, drawing paintings or doing detailed drawings. You might just be doodling, just drawing whatever, and the book might be full of all just different drawings of things. So that's a form of journaling. Um, you know, journaling, you can let out your frustrations as well. Like, um, I was driving today and someone cut me off, and I was so angry. But then I um, calmed down because I figure, like, don't get so uptight about it, you know, or um, things that could be frustrating, you know. It helps, or the pain of the trauma. You know, you can practice letting go of things through journaling. Um, balance training is another thing on my list, and I've got some videos on YouTube where I walk on the top of tree branches in the forest and balance. You know, I look pretty funny when I'm doing it, but I don't care. It uses all your energy and all your muscles, and so I'm going to keep doing that. Um, these are things I do. So you know, you make your own list, and you might have different stuff. And I've got the staff practice where it's like martial art, so Tai Chi type thing, twist, Qigong or whatever. Um, twirling the stick around the staff is very therapeutic, and there's exercise aspect to it, and it's a good healing thing because any practice like dancing is. I don't have dancing on the list because I don't necessarily dance, um, but I've got shaking on the list. So like shaking is like ecstatic dancing, shaking out the trauma. So it is beneficial. Music is on the list, and music's on the list twice. So one version's playing guitar or the flute, and the other one is listening to music. So I've got music written down twice. Support network, this thing right here. Sky's back. Awesome. Good to see you back, Sky. I'm just going through my list of healing stuff. Um, so support network. How good is this? We've got our own support network. We've started this. We're all sharing in this. And you know, for instance, Are You Sure's starting a blog. Freya's starting a YouTube channel. Like we're all starting to do this, sharing our progress of healing, and that how powerful is that? That's so powerful. And I've, you know, I'm going to start doing interviews on this channel. So, you know, eventually I'm going to be asking people if they want to be interviewed and talk to them, and they can be on a episode that is not necessarily live streamed. It could be pre-recorded and then uploaded later. Support network is, how good is this? Like we're all supporting each other, and it's been so healing for me. If you go back to the first videos, and people were saying it, like Weasel and Go Fast were saying the same thing. And everyone actually, lots of people have said, but just tonight, you know, have said, oh, noticed how much you've progressed in the last 2 weeks, and it's amazing, and it shows. That's because of this support network. It's so beneficial, and I every time I get a positive comment from someone saying how grateful they are for me, well, for having this channel and having a place where we can just share and be, and how much they appreciate it, and how much it's helping them, helps me so much. Makes me feel really good, and gives me a reason to keep doing these streams. And I'm inspired by everyone else who's sharing what they're doing. So support network is really powerful. So again, if you don't have one, well, you do now, because this is what this is, you know. And if yeah, definitely, you know, if you come here, you're part of this support network, and I appreciate it so much. Counselors. So I use, we've in Australia, we've got Blue Knot, which is Complex Trauma Foundation, and I can call them once a week. I don't call them every week. Sometimes I'll go a month without calling them. But you know, eventually sometime during the day, I'll feel like I need to speak to them. And 7 days a week during work hours, you get one free counselling session a week, which is awesome. Sadly, I've had reports from people, viewers or members of this channel, members of this support group, who have said they don't have the same quality of service in America. One friend said she tried calling one of these helplines, and she was on hold for 3 hours, and then it cut out. So sadly, you know, and so you know, we're really lucky here. I do donate to Blue Knot whenever I've got spare money, because it's such a amazing foundation. And I even have I'd like to actually donate $1 or something from each book sale from my poetry book to Blue Knot. And doesn't matter if you're in anywhere in the world, you can still access their information sheets. They got information sheets on their website, and they also sell books that they write. So it's, even if you're not in Australia, you can benefit for the work they do. Counsellors are a big one. So crisis call lines and trauma counsellors. Psychologists is another thing. You know, I only see my psychologist every 6 weeks, but that's enough now. And I've got a pretty good rapport with my psychologist. I enjoy the sessions. I'm getting enough out of it, and I'm doing well enough to only need to go every 6 weeks, and that's good. And I can only afford going once every 6 weeks too. So, but then we get subsidized psychologist appointments in Australia. So if I go to the doctor, if I go to the GP, I can get 6 appointments at a greatly reduced rate. So, but that runs out very quickly. But if I'm only going every 6 weeks, that means, you know, 8 months of the year, I get discounted psychologist appointments. So that's good. Voice work. So doing singing. If you don't sing, I used to sing a bit, and I used to write songs where I sang, but I do chanting, like Tibetan style or Gregorian type chanting. So I'll go out in the bush where I'm away from people, and I'll start making chanting sounds. And that's a very powerful healing thing. And it's to do with the making the sounds in your throat, and then the vibrations and the frequencies you get neurofeedback. So it's helping your brain settle itself and reorganize. So your thoughts are more it helps cognition. It also is a polyvagal exercise where it stimulates your vagus nerve. And when you think about singing, we have very critical vagus nerves, like our ears and our the front and back of our neck, and the vagus nerve comes down through there, down into all the way down to your organs. But vagus nerve that are important are to do with neck position and your ears. So any vagus nerve activation is going to be good for you. There are so many, like I bought a book on vagus nerve exercises. It was $17 on Google Play. And I haven't, like when I finish it, I'm going to review it. It's packed full of exercises. For $17, it's, it'll take me too long to find it now, but I will, when I finish reading it, I'll do a book review on it. So for $17, it's like got hundreds of exercises in it and like worksheets and all that. It's really good. It's written by a couple of doctors that have been, so just reinforcing voice work, how it can be powerful. So whether you sing, hum, or chant, it's all positive. Cats purr. That's what they're doing. They're healing themselves when they purr. They're regulating their nervous system, but they're also healing themselves. Learning is on the list. It's a big one on the list. So learning includes reading books. It includes listening to podcasts. It includes watching YouTube videos, all to do with healing trauma. So in order to heal from something, you need to know what it is. So I'm reading books on somatic healing, books on mindfulness, books on polyvagal exercises and polyvagal theory, and books on trauma healing. And and that's separate from all the YouTube research, like watch a bunch of Gabor Mate interviews and you'll be learning stuff every time you listen to what he says. And not just him, any of the experts in healing. And there's so many really good YouTube channels that are the content is produced by professionals that are successful healers of trauma. So learning is essential. That's how you end up with making your list, because you work out what you need to do. So under learning, I've got reading, and I did mention that. That's part of learning, but reading is also separate because it's such a big aspect that actual books should be separated from the general topic of learning. And I think it's essential to, if you have difficulties reading, there's audio book versions of all of these books. So you don't have to read them. You can still get the audio book version. But I think, yeah, look, here we go. There's four books on trauma and healing right here, and I've got a pile over there. That's what it's, and I've got a pile on my phone. It's all about that. Patience, that's on the list. And, patience is a big thing because healing takes years. And especially some things you might want to practice take a long time to actually get any results. So you've got to, and you also, the patience includes knowing that you might put effort into something and it doesn't end up working for you. So if you're not paying for it, if it's a self-help healing modality, it's not costing you big money. So if it doesn't work in the end, then that's okay. But if you're spending thousands of dollars on a special healing thing, that's unfortunate, but it is an actual aspect to things, and that's why I've actually got further down the list. I'll explain it later, but actually having a plan for the healing. So you can have a list, but then you want to create a plan. Mindfulness, massive one. Again, patience, going back to the previous, learning mindfulness requires patience because it doesn't work straight away. It takes weeks and weeks of practice every day just to get some results. You have to practice it every day for 6 months at least to start getting major results. But the research shows that it does have positive results straight away within a month, in the research. But people who seriously practice mindfulness benefit massively. So your prefrontal cortex grows and gets stronger. Your polyvagal, your vagus nerve gets stronger and heals. Your hypothalamus, which the older parts of the brain, not the mammalian, the more reptilian they say, but it's just the older part of the brain that's more about your fight, freeze response of your nervous system. So it's responsible for your dysregulation. That gets strengthened, and the hypothalamus and the amygdala has positive results. So overall, mindfulness has a very powerful healing thing going on with you, not just your mind, but your body as well. The other good thing about mindfulness is like meditation and yoga practices. It's you're learning to read your body and become aware of your body. So you're able to get better at recognizing when you're triggered, what type of trigger it is, how severe it is. And you also then can notice when things are working, because the more you learn to read your body and your emotions and your cognition, the more you can act on it. It's a very powerful thing, it's changed my life, and I think it's probably one of the most important things on here. Music, again, I said I had it down written twice, so listening to music is very powerful. A friend of mine today, we were chatting, and he said he listens to chanting music in the morning. He wakes up and he's not feeling happy, or he's triggered or something, and he listens to this classic ancient chanting, and it's really soothing, and that's something he shared that works for him. And so music can be all different forms. It can be instrumental, it can be bands that have lyrics. It should be treated wisely, like listening to sad music can be healing as well. You need to be aware of, at a certain point, sad music can keep you in a sad state. So sometimes sad music can be great to express emotions. One of my favorite bands, I listen to it and it makes me cry because the songs are so powerful. and I appreciate that fact to it. But they also write a lot of really beautiful music, which their beautiful music makes me cry as well. But they also have these really sad songs, and sometimes when I'm really sad, I need to listen to this sad song, cry, and then I feel better. Um, so, and then you have, you can't necessarily listen to happy, upbeat music when you're not happy. So sometimes you can listen to music that's halfway upbeat and happy enough to raise your vibration or whatever to the next level, and then you can listen to really happy, upbeat music. Some people have the ability to be really sad and then put on some really happy music, and then suddenly they're feeling better. I find it difficult to jump straight to the happy, happy stuff. So I sort of work towards it. Next on the list is trauma therapy plan. So once you've been doing all this research and learning, finding out about the different healing techniques and how much they cost, ones you can do yourself, make a trauma therapy plan and look at how much money you've got, what's available in your country or your area. It might be that you have to travel to a different town to actually just get a certain therapy or whatever, and so things aren't always available in your area. So you don't know until you find out and do the research. And part of the therapy plan is finding out what's available in your city. Sunsets and sunrises, massive one for me. Like, it's part of the nature therapy, but it's like one of my favorite things to do. And I just love it, and it's something very special about watching the sunrise or sun setting, and they're both very different. The sunrise, you have to get up early, much before the sunrise to get there, so it takes discipline. But then once you've watched the sunrise, it's a very special moment, and then you're present, and you get to see this beautiful act of nature. Then you've got the whole day ahead of you, and you're like steps ahead of everyone else because they're still sleeping in, and you've been up early to watch the sunrise, and you've been there with the birds and everything. So, and the same sunsets is the same, like, except they're different. It's the end of the day and going into the night. So it's a different feeling and emotion you get from it. And but equally as therapeutic. I see more sunsets than I see sunrises because it's easier to go see the sunset time-wise. I might try and start, like, it's unfortunately going into summer, sunrise is so early. I'm still doing my caring role, so I can't see sunrises, but I can see them every day at home. Every day I'm awake, watching the twilight, watching the pre-dawn, and I get to see the sunrise every day, but I'm seeing it from home, not from up in the bush. So sunsets would be the thing. Yeah, nature therapy is on the list as a general thing. So that's going for bushwalks, sitting under a tree, just feeling the breeze and listening to the birds and the sound of the wind in the leaves, going for walks in the rainforest or the bush, or, nature is, and again, it's been proven to sign, it calms your heart rate and your cortisol levels reduce, just like it does amazing things for healing. Dream work. Okay, so dream work is another thing. Dreaming about what you might want to do in the future. there's having options that, like, the future could be a special place. Um, creating things that you want to do, and then working towards getting there. So you can have dreams to do things that might be out of reach. So that goes back to the lists. When I said writing lists, you can have short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. Put in things that you dream that you want to do. They don't all have to be practical things, and you never know, you might actually achieve some of these things. So don't be afraid to dream. Um, it can be healing, and it can be something that helps you get to that next stage. Even if you tell someone, oh yeah, I'd love to do this, and they tell you, oh no, you'll never do that, you can't do that, that's going to take this and that and that, and they'll say no. The naysayers, don't worry about that, it's a dream. So maybe that could become a reality though. So you keep working towards your dreams, eventually they happen. And that's the whole thing about that. Finding purpose, however you find it, and whatever your purpose is, finding it will be a massive healing thing, because a big problem with trauma is it leaves you feeling like you have no purpose, or you don't know what your purpose is. So I found purpose this year with my caring role. And I spend 8 to 10 hours a day, not doing much, just sitting in a chair, watching, waiting to be there when I need to help through the night. And then I'm honored. It's given me purpose, and it's what I do now. So that happened, unfortunately, because of someone not being well, and I became their carer. It gave me purpose. And as soon as it gave me purpose, like I felt better self-worth, and it helped me more. Setbacks, and I talk about setbacks a lot. Acknowledge that they're going to be a major part of your healing. Know that there will be setbacks, and know how to deal with them, and include them in the fact that you're going to have them. And in different forms, but as long as you keep momentum, even if you're like not moving forward, and as long as you've got motion, you're still moving. Even if you're not moving forward, you're still moving, and then eventually you move forward. I use this analogy of, and I remember seeing a painting. I've seen lots of paintings. I think there's an MC Escher etching or ink drawing of fish in the shallows, and I've seen lots of paintings of fish in the shallows, and it got me thinking about how is it that the fish make it upstream? The fish get upstream not by just swimming against the river. They make it by waiting in the shallows, in the quiet spots that are away from the currents. Because in rivers, just like in the oceans, you have currents. Some parts are more powerful, and some parts are less powerful. And you have eddy currents, which are turbulence within these. So it can, you have these high pressure, high power currents, and then you have the eddy currents, which is just distortion and disturbance, turbulence. And then you have quiet spots, shallows, spots in the river, and they exist all along the river, where there is all this water flowing, but that in this spot it's not. So the fish make it upstream because they rest in the shallows. They're not always trying to fight against the river, and so they only go forward a little bit by little bit by little bit. You know what I mean? So they're finding safe places and taking it bit by bit rather than trying to do it all in one go, or go push it hard against the stream, and then the fish will get worn out and it'll never make it upstream. So including that, so that sort of a combination of taking into account setbacks and also patience, which I mentioned earlier, is that fish sitting in the shallows waiting for its right time to swim a little bit further forward, and then it finds another shallow quiet spot where there's no turbulence, and then it moves on to, and then eventually they get all the way to the end of up to the destination upstream. Grief work. So grief work and shadow work are two things, and they're separate. So you have to go through a grieving process for the time you've lost, and grieving over the pain that you've endured, and that allows you to move on, sort of just like as if you've lost someone. And it's very powerful to actually do that. Just like doing shadow work is similar in the fact that once you do the work, you have a transformation, and you grow as a person, and it's difficult. Both of them are difficult. That's why I connected the two. Grief work's it's grief, and you're grieving over your own things. And shadow work is, acknowledging negative aspects of the ego, and going beyond the ego, and sort of cancelling out certain behaviors and things. So, with shadow work, it's taking control of like your people pleasing self or your negative self-talk self, and resolving it so it no longer controls you anymore. And that's a major part of healing, is casting off those negative automatic behaviors that are associated with trauma responses. So, I still have a lot of shadow work to do. I've done a lot of it. I still have a lot to do. And it probably shows in how much I've grown and changed in the last few months for people who've been here with me along this time. And so the last two things I've got on this list is chrysalis and metamorphosis. So if you think of it like all your life up until the point you start going through the healing process, you're the caterpillar. And, you get to a point where, you've done enough healing work, then you go through that transformation or metamorphosis. And then you emerge as a moth or a butterfly, completely new thing. And so that you can then look back at what you were, and you're completely different. And that's when you know that you've achieved a major step in your healing. And I think I am, it might be a year off the chrysalis stage. Maybe I've started it already. I don't know, but I think I'll know. Yeah, I'm sort of, maybe I'm entering into the chrysalis. I'm starting to, like, what I'm doing is, I've found this really bountiful food source, which is the healing modalities, and I'm nourishing myself, and I'll get to this point where I can stop what I'm doing, because I'm ready for the transformation or the metamorphosis, and then that's then the final stages of the healing before becoming something completely new. So thank you for listening to me about my list of healing and self-care that I do. And I'm going to be writing, a couple of pages, or, up to 5 or 10 pages on each single one of these topics. And really going into detail with it all. And so I'm considering actually making that accompanying part of my poetry book, because the poetry is about the healing and getting through trauma. So why not have a section on all the things that I do to heal, and what it's like, and what works for me, and all this sort of stuff. So it might be 5-10 pages, or it might be 50 or 100 pages. It's not going to be a full size book, but it'll be something substantial that gives people information on these things and my perspective on it. So, the analogy of the fish making it up the river, I will talk about that, and how it works, and why, my falling leaf philosophy that I talk about. And I mean, it's not like I came up with the idea of the falling leaf. The falling leaf is it's like a proverb of itself, and that is something that people have pondered what it means, and I came up with a meaning that I saw from it. So I'll write about that as well. So thank you everyone for being here, and I will now catch up with the chat. Awesome, MJG's here. Always love it when you're in the chat, MJG. So that's awesome. So, and it seems that most of the people that were here earlier in the stream are back again. So Kat's here. How you going, Kat? It's awesome to see you as well. And Sky's back as well. And plus Red Rose, are you sure? I don't know who else is here at the moment. Freya's still here. This is a really great chat tonight. I just had an awesome time talking about that stuff. Thank you for listening. And I'm really excited to write this stuff down. So I reckon it'll easily be 50 or 100 pages once I write a little essay on each one of these things. 1 to 5 pages on each topic. And there's enough topics there. It's easily going to be 50 pages long, maybe longer. And I'm going to enjoy writing this stuff because it's stuff I've done and lived through. So, and I'm still working on it too. So it's a work in progress. So I'm excited to do this. Now that I've finished transcribing all the poetry, now I'm going to start this writing. And tonight I'm going to start it. So it's awesome. So I'm going to scroll back to when I started. And so everyone will have been, I'll be going through reading what people were writing while I was talking about all this healing stuff. It looks like someone's written down a song. Anyone who's joined the chat, we're starting music club now as well. So if people have any ideas for songs to learn to play on guitar or keyboard or drums or whatever instrument, the song's got to be 3.5 minutes to 4 minute song. It's got to be reasonably not over complex with the chords and scales, but it can have, it can have melodies and harmonies and finger picking and arpeggios and stuff. It can have all that stuff, but it has to be able to be also jammed, played simply as well. So nothing too full on. We're not talking about Chopin or any of that stuff. It generally would be a song that has lyrics. So not an instrumental. It would have to be a song that's got lyrics. So we've got a few so far. I saw someone wrote Desperado. There we go. There's an Eagles song. That is a classic one. So I'm going to try and find where we were in the chat, and I'm going to try and catch up as quick as I can. This will be the fastest catch up to the chat. Yeah, here we go. Freya says Shine by Anna. I've written that down. Yeah, now I know where I am. Yeah, Freya says I like the Brandy Carlisle selection. Awesome. It's an awesome song, that song. What can I say? It's an awesome song. Freya says, yeah, I love any song by the Eagles. Well, we've got Desperado so far. Freya says, yeah, I think it's kind of nice. There's just a few of us at the moment. A few of us, a little bit more intimate and can keep up easier. It is nice. It's nice when there's heaps of us here as well. But like, I love how like the chat just seems to just work. I love it. It just works. I appreciate all of you for being here and contributing. It's what makes it. You're everyone here. And I like how I do the streams long enough. Some people are here at the beginning and then they got to go do something and then they might come back again or they join later on in the stream. So it works for everything. I love it. Freya says, I'm trying to think of the title, but it says you better let somebody love you before it's too late. I think it's called You Gotta Love Somebody. No, or is that Police or Sting or something? But I think I know the song too. That's an Eagles song, isn't it? Someone will work it out. Yep, Go Fast was back. He says we're here, almost 2 a.m. here. There you go. So like, it's amazing, isn't it? Like the time differences. So you're Southern California, I think I remember. Freya says, yeah, it's 3:42 here. Go Fast says, just going to start eating instant coffee powder and drink water later. That's awesome. That reminds me, I haven't had any water at all tonight. And haven't had any water. I'd say it is so funny. Go Fast. Are you sure? Says, yeah, I started in August. That would be referring to me talking about one of the healing modalities, I'm guessing. The Freya says, yeah, that's funny. Go fast. I was in jail once or twice, and we were in there. We would take powdered coffee and we would put it in little squares of toilet paper and call them coffee bombs. That's full on. What and what you, in order to keep the coffee, or like, that's interesting, or that's how you stored it, or that's how you consumed it. Red Rose says, "Y'all, I've been typing comments. They're not showing up. I don't think. I've typed like 5. Can y'all see this one? Yep, we can see this one. Hope my chat is not messing up again. Yeah, you seem to have problems with. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe with tablets and things, like, they always update. Maybe go through and update YouTube or something. I mean, that might help. I don't know. Yeah, Freya says, yeah, but I haven't seen you for a while. So maybe there's something going on with your chat. Glitching out there, Red Rose. Yeah, I could only put half my comment at least at last time too. Yeah, so maybe there's something going on. Are you sure? Says it's 4:44 a.m. here. There you go. That's one of those magic numbers. Freya says, yeah, that's an angel number. Are you sure? You can look it up. Yeah, that's it. Red Rose says, Luke, dang, my chat is messing up again, like I did the other night in Brian's lives. The only comments I can see in the chat now is mine, Freya's, and half my comments not even showing up. Yeah, I'm sorry that's happening. Are you sure? Says, angel number 444 conveys a powerful message of love, support, and guidance from your angels. It serves as a reminder that you are on the right path and your angels are by your side. See, isn't that beautiful? Are you sure? Says, it's like there's a limit on words typed. Yeah, maybe. I don't change. I don't have any modification to the chat thing at all. So it might just be YouTube doing that. Like, because it's one of the biggest sites on the internet, and there's literally millions and millions of people using it constantly all the time. When its resources are under pressure, it slows things down, and so that, I don't know. YouTube does pretty darn well for not crashing very often. YouTube very rarely crashes. I can only think of a few times in memory that it's ever crashed for a period of time where it's actually crashed and not worked. Whereas Facebook has crashed many times and just failed to work for half an hour or something, or an hour. But YouTube does really well, and it's letting us stream right now. It's pretty awesome. There's so many good things you can learn on YouTube. I think it does have a lot of positive aspects to it, and it's like anything, it can have negative aspects. But I think the positives are really positive. You think about this conversation and the conversations we have, like, how good is that? As far as social media and all that sort of stuff, very positive. Kat says, okay, I've just returned to the stream and 444 is one of my numbers. Awesome. Loud and clear, Spirit Lol. Thank you. Are you sure? Yeah, how awesome. I love it. I see it all the time. I see that in 144 and 441 all the time. It's I love seeing when I see these numbers and I'm just like, it just it's it it makes life even more interesting, when you see it. And what's strange about it is, like the people say, it's like pareidolia and stuff like that. So you're seeing it because you're noticing it. And yes, that's an aspect, um, but it happens so often. You know, it, the more it happens, it's uncanny. And again, you notice it because it is certain numbers. 333, 777, 444. And lots of other numbers that are combinations of numbers. But yeah, I see them all the time. Whenever, like, I'll look at the clock and I'll be like, yeah, oh, it's that time again. Oh, it's that time again. It's just like, you know, I think it makes life interesting being aware of these things and then being able to apply a meaning to something you see, and special. And it happened tonight. And it happened for Are You Sure? And then Kat joins and it happened for her because she saw it in the chat and she's like, yes. So that's cool. Yeah, I've written down Desperado, Freya. That'll be on the list, I reckon. Anyone who's got songs that they think would be good. We've got 5 songs so far. No, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we keep going. Once we've got at least 10 songs, then we can like make that the first list, and we can just keep adding to them. Like the book club, as we play a song, we can add more songs to it. So we only have like say 10 songs that we pick from randomly, and every time a song gets done, we add a new one to the group of 10. So we've got the list and then the carryover, or the pool, and the you know what I mean. The primary and then the pool. Is that a way to describe it? Secondary, overflow, something. You know what I mean. We only pick from 10 songs at one um, each time. Makes it easier rather than having like 100 songs in a hat. Um, Also, it means that, just like with the book club, it means that all the original books that were chosen that night we came up with doing a book club, it means that we are eventually going to get through that initial lot, at least most of them, in a period of time. So yeah, Desperado, I've written that one down. Yeah, there's definitely a limit. Yeah, I think there always has been a limit for the chat, and it's like 400 characters or something. You get to the end, and then if you start typing too many words, it stops you. So it means people can't write whole paragraphs and put it in the chat. Um, I can even limit the word count if I want, but I haven't limited it. I haven't done any editing to it. So, yeah. Are You Sure? Says Desperado song. Yeah, I think that's it. It's on the list now. Freya says, yeah, that's awesome, Kat. That was divine timing. And I know was an angel number. Kat says, gratitude journals are great to keep focused on the positives. Kmart have them for about $3. Awesome. Good to know that. I'm going to write that down. Thank you. Thank you so much for that info, Kat. I'm going to get one. Kmart. Gratitude. Because I've got to go shopping sometime soon. And that gives me a reason to look for it. Gratitude book, $3. $3 is awesome. So actually having a dedicated journal for it is a great idea. Kat says, I managed to keep it for most part of this year. Got me through many hard times or many hard days. That's awesome. See, how good is it? It's proof, and this is verified that it's such a good thing to do, and it really works, and it's worth doing. So that's really awesome. Thank you so much for that, Kat. This is really awesome. I'm going to go buy one of those books. Freya says, but are you sure? That sounds exactly like this is moment you might be experiencing. You know what I mean? Red Rose says, I don't know who all can see my comment. Chat's messing up your old glitch with my iPad. It does this kind of stuff a lot. Luke has experienced it many times with me. Yeah, well, it's showing there's people in the 5 people here now. And I know that the numbers on the thing's not always accurate, but Freya says, yeah, I think Red Rose wants Take It Easy, Desperado by the Eagles. So I'll write Take It Easy. But there's that other one, Gotta Love Somebody or whatever. I've written down Take It Easy. Kat says, yeah, the timing was uncanny, Freya. Literally, as I looked at the chat, the timing was perfect. That's awesome. Freya says, yeah, I see Red Rose tapped into your energy. I hope that's okay. I wanted to see what songs to pick for you. Yeah, that's interesting. Kat says, I can see your comment, Red Rose. So it is working. Maybe just not all of them. For some reason, she said other ones weren't working. Freya says, yeah, I said Desperado by the Eagles and then added Take It Easy. Yeah, I've written Take It Easy. Freya says, yeah, it was funny, Kat, because we randomly just saying what time it was, where we were, and I've been around long enough to know that something was going to come from it. That's awesome. Red Rose says, Freya, you're right. Ask Luke, 2 songs I was listening to the other night. It was those 2 exact songs. Yeah, exactly. Freya, and you sent them the YouTube things to them when you're listening to it. Freya says, yes. Sorry, are you sure? Says Freya, yes, with a smiley face. Reminder that I'm on the right path. That's awesome. It's good to know. Kat says, during my darkest period, I kept a self-portrait journal. That's awesome. The drawings were lousy, but it was so healing and therapeutic. Oh, look, come on, Kat. I'm sure they were great drawings. You know what I mean? And how good is that, though? That's a really great, like, self-portraits and doing self-portraits over and over. You know, I used to do like self-portraits, and I used to sort of, I could probably find one, and I'd actually draw myself sitting there crying and stuff like that when I was really sad. It would show me sitting there. I'll see if I'll try and find one. But that's awesome, Kat, that it helped and worked for you. So I'm going to write that down. Self-portrait journal. That's really good. That's really awesome. And maybe I'll start doing that. And maybe I'll start doing the portraits as happy ones instead of like I used to draw them as sad. I'll see if I can find one. Yeah, like I said, I've got heaps of these in my sketch journals, and I've shown some of them before, but I don't know. I don't think there will be one in here, and I don't want to take too long to miss out on the chat. Because yeah, I've packed a lot of them away. Yeah, not in that one. Self-portrait journal. That's really good. I can totally see how that'd. And you look back at it over time, and you look at the different emotions that you know. I, you know, nah, it's another journal book. This actually is like a dream journal book I used to write. So it's like I had a dream about a rosarium. So it's like, I wrote that. Here we go. It's like looking at your hands, and it says, sometimes it's a chase, other times it's a race. It can also be both. On occasion, it's a running adventure. There is stages. There is changes to the laws of nature. So I'm just talking about dreams. Here's another one. So see the house and all the things on the house. So I'll have a dream about a house I used to live in or something, but like there's all these extra levels to the house, extra rooms, and it really interesting. It's like extra rooms just sort of built on, sort of like that. Like it's a normal house, but suddenly there's all these like extra bits to it. So it's like, remember the house, how it changes each time, like it grows a basement or a few stories higher. Often there's a party or you're returning from an absence. So this is actually like a dream journal. This is interesting. This is me sort of talking about dreams. So it's to introduce elements of the cipher in a dream to populate waking life so that the element can return to dream where it can be used. They use places familiar, but changed enough to give cover from angels. They rally actors to the cause by introduced narratives. In a place of flux, the magic is subtle. So that's me talking about how we're influenced by what what we see in our daily life becomes part of our dreams, and commonality. So if everyone knows a few Shakespeare plays, everyone has common concepts within their mind of Shakespeare, and in modern times we could say Star Wars or The Simpsons. Simpsons is a great one because so many people all over the world, even if you haven't watched The Simpsons for 20 years and you only watched it back when it was like classic show before they call it I think it's Zombie Simpsons. It got to a point where it's like Simpsons changed completely, and everyone says it's no longer the same show. Um, yeah, pop culture creates archetypes in the brain, in our subconscious, and in our memory, um, and they're representations of things that have complicated or complexities, and then um, it's through that's like through the commonality of experience. um, there is shared um, conceptualization of complex things. So this is how um, the mind is shaped and swayed through media. So knowing what the population is um, knowing what the population has as commonality means that um, writers, artists, and propagandists, and marketing, advertising can utilize this to target particular aspects to the psyche, and it's because commonality. So everyone who listens to, we wish you were here was one song on the thing, um, there's on the list, like, so songs, movies, books, um, quotes, poems, um, speeches, um, anything that's like replicated, and it used to be at, if you go back, it used to be myths and tales, like fables, um, and parables, and religious texts. So it used to be just that. But in the modern era, we have modern media, which is, movies, television, books. Um, it's interesting. So it means with commonality, we can understand things, and it's like um, it also then means that tropes, the notion of tropes, and caricatures, and archetypes, motifs, are all interconnected in this thing in the subconscious, where commonality is um, things are understood, and they're not always so something has to be popular enough for the general population to have read it or watched it to be accessible as a tool. And then when it is that, then essentially it becomes the trope or the meme. It becomes the meme, and we live in this modern era of the internet memes. So um, I love this stuff. Sorry, I just went off on a tangent. But yeah, I just found one of my dream journals, and then it was awesome. So I'd often, instead of writing down my dream, I'd wake up and I'd draw a picture. Now I'm trying to catch up now because I started chatting away. Where are we? Okay. That's awesome. That cat, the portrait journal. That's such a great idea. I'm going to give it a go. Red Rose says, Luke, the only comments I can see is Freya's. Yeah, I don't know. I can see comments. So Sky, I can see lots of comments from you here. Sky says, I'm back. Freya says, no, that's really cool, Luke, because I've always liked to climb trees and sit up there. And when I was a kid, I used to watch people look for me, lol. That's classic. It's like, oh, you're looking down from up in the tree, and they're all like, oh, where's Freya? Where's Freya? Or, and you're like, I'm up here. Cat says red rose with the rose and the heart. Sky says, I'm going to just start simply because I've gotten so many interpersonal things wrong. So I'm going to start in my immediate life and via text. That's awesome, Sky, because keeping things simple is a really great way to do things. You're very aware, like that. You acknowledge getting things wrong. That shows a great awareness. Wanting to correct things, that shows even greater awareness. And having self-discipline or self-control over things, that shows even greater awareness. So you've got a lot of you're doing well, Sky. And that's awesome. Like, that's a really good comment, and it's encouraging to read something like that, because it's dedication as well. It's like you're like working towards fixing something, and you're active about it. Freya says, yeah, the chat vanished from you a second to be okay. We're probably just synchronizing timelines. It's classic. It's dropped down to 3 people again. So like it fluctuates. But it seems to be still streaming, and we're almost at 3 hours. So my goal now is to catch up the chat after me keep diverting and talking about stuff. So I've got to get back to the chat. Freya says, yeah, I can't even articulate how isolated and withdrawn I've been for so long, and it's been revolutionary for me from the inside out. Freya says, yeah, I'm pretty psychic. I go to say lol. Red Rose says, Freya with the hearts. Freya says, I could just tell I could probably tap into your energy because it's very similar to my own, Red Rose. Sky says, I'm learning to be better at relationships. Sky, that's so awesome to hear. Like, you're working towards all this stuff. Like, this is a big part of healing and working towards improving relationships. Like, awesome. It's that shows a lot. You're on the right path. Absolutely. Like, if you can fix those things, I need to do that myself. I'm running away from them. I'm isolating myself. Maybe I'm fixing relationships by having these streams and connecting with new people and making new friends. You know, um, but yeah, like for instance, I had that issue last week when I sent a whole bunch of people these text messages about how upset I am about stuff, and you know, some people took it the right way, some people didn't really get it, and I was certainly upset at the time. So I acknowledge that, and I know that for me, a big problem with my stuff is sending text messages that are then I regret what I say in the text message. You know, I think back, oh, I wish I'd not said that. I wish I'd thought about it before I did send. So that's a big problem I have. But because I don't send many text messages anymore, I don't have that problem. So, and I'm getting better at it. I'm aware of it, my faults with that. Red Rose says, yes, Freya, you and I are both psychic. We picked on that. Sorry. We picked up on that with each other instantly. Made me grin, made me so happy. Aisha says, community is essential. Awesome. Yeah, and we're probably starting something, but that will help us grow exponentially. I love that comment, are you sure? That's really awesome. I really love that. I think it's, you know, it's just gonna help keep helping us. Red Rose says, Frey, yes, and I do love your energy too with the roses. MJG is here, awesome. Love it every time you join, MJG. You're a legend. MJG says, hi Luke, with the heart and hands. Awesome, see ya. And Red Rose to Sky, Freya, are you? And Kat. I love it. She did it with all, MJG did it with all the emojis. I love it. MJG says, I'm listening. Sky says, hi, MJG. Sky says, I'm going to go soon. Thanks, Luke, and everyone. I hope you all have a great day, night. Sky's got the hearts. Thanks for being here, Sky. It's because it's taken me so long. Obviously, you've probably left now. So anyone who does that leaves, and know that I've always said thank you for being here when I eventually get to that bit of the chat. Because I appreciate everyone who comes here and contributes and is part of this. MJG says, thanks, Sky. Love you too. A Shaw says, hi, MJG. A Shaw says, yes, be well, Sky. MJG's got the heart. A Shaw says, okay, I will email you, Luke, for mindfulness. I owe it to myself. Awesome. You're going to do the mindfulness training with me. Are you sure this is going to be awesome? Because I've probably only got one more spot now. Just because it takes 6 weeks. We do a lesson each week. So awesome. Are you sure? I can't wait for this, you know, and I'll work around your time. The lessons are an hour and a half. Maybe the first lesson might be a little bit longer. It just depends on how long we chat, because the first lesson is explaining the fundamentals of mindfulness, and then sort of working out what best practices, formal practices to learn based on what you want to achieve and what would benefit you the most. And then I'll structure because there's you know, hundreds of practices, but there's the core main ones, you know, that you could say there's 10 or 20 fundamental ones. And so I'll pick from that. In 6 lessons, we might get 6 or 7 different practices, maybe 8 done. But then the beauty of it is, once you've got the basic fundamentals, you can buy off, you know, Google Books or in stores like that, mindfulness scripts for $5 or something, and that have 20 or more scripts in it. And so yeah, I've been doing that, and there's lots of, that's, you know, it's good having the scripts. It's also good having audio. So, you know, YouTube guided meditations, that's something I'll be starting to produce. So as part of the course, I'll be giving you audio um, mindfulness guided meditations, which I do. So it'll be me speaking. Just you, and then you can keep them and then use them whenever you practice them. So this is really exciting. Are you sure? I can't wait to get an email and organize the time for the first introductory mindfulness session. It's going to be awesome. So excited. I really am. Freya says, I got sidetracked for a moment, but I'm back. Red Rose says, Freya, 100%. Freya says, I think Kat may be a bit psychic too. Yeah, that's it. I think we're all very intuitive. We're all very switched on. We're all interested in esoteric stuff, and I don't know. We got a lot in common. A lot of intuition is, trauma makes you hypersensitive in a lot of ways, and not just trauma, other things. If you're hypersensitive, then there's more of a chance you're going to be more in tune with certain things. It has a negative aspect where you could be distracted by so much being hypersensitive that you actually miss things. And people that have strong intuition don't get it right every time. They get things wrong all the time, but they might get things right most of the time, and that's why they've. So I think it's much better that's much better than getting things mixed up. Yeah, Red Rose says, Freya says, take care, Sky. Freya says, sorry, Red Rose says, Freya 100%. Freya says, hello, MJG. Red Rose says, is Sky leaving? Sky, goodbye, my friend. Yeah, Sky's got to go do something. But Sky will be back. Not tonight, next time. And it's awesome that, I appreciate you all so much. I get so much from this connection, and the fact that we care about each other and we share things, we teach each other things, we encourage each other, and it's special. MJG's got the heart, the green heart. I love that. Red Rose says, MJG, the only comments I can see right now are mine and Freya's. My iPad is glitching tonight, so hello to you, my friend. So that's it. Yeah, there must be something. As long as at least if the stream records on YouTube, that's good. Even if it seems to be glitching a bit and dropping people a bit, that's unfortunate. But like I said, YouTube's such a massive website that puts up a lot. They only have so much resources for their streaming things, so it could be that. There's also I'm using the YouTube web interface to stream. It might be less glitchy if I use another software that can connect to YouTube and stream. So I'll look into that, maybe doing that. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to do research into that and see if there's YouTube stream glitch. Third-party apps. I'm going to do full research into that and see whether it's worth using another program to connect to YouTube, whether it'll make it less problems. I don't know. MJG's says, yeah, hi dear Rose, I am lying flat, so it's hard to type for me. I have EDS, but I read and listen well. I can't sit. That's the reason why I'm quiet. And yeah, see, that's the thing, you know. MJG just shared with us a condition that she has, and it's you know, it's, you know, everyone here's where we do have stuff that we're living with that causes us to have to, you know, things are a little bit different for each of us in some ways, and I think that's special that we can all be there for each other, and support each other. You know, that's what I appreciate everyone so much. MJG says, yeah, but I enjoy reading and listening to you all. Are you sure says, awesome work, Luke. Thank you. Are you sure? I appreciate that. And look, I'm going to enjoy writing essays about each one of those topics. Sort of like, basically, it's in a sense making my own self-help book. You know, it's just a mini self-help book. It's not going to be like a epic one, you know. It'll be more like abbreviated, like, but yeah, I'm I'm excited to write it because, you know, each thing I've got a lot to talk about, so it's going to be fun. And I'm starting that tonight. Now I've finished writing up the poetry. So, are you sure? That's awesome. Thanks for that. It's encouraging me to really do something with it. Red Rose says, yeah, it's 4:44 for me right now, y'all. Awesome. Are you sure? Says, cool. Timothy Gallagher's here. How you going, Timothy? Good to see you. You joined a few weeks ago, or I can't remember when it was. Recently, anyway, a couple times, and it's good to see you. You know, always appreciate everyone who joins here and contributes. Yeah, Timothy says, sorry for being late. Aren't sketchbooks the best? They are the best. Isn't that awesome? Timothy says, yeah, Midsummer Night's Dream of Puck. Exactly. You know, and that's what I was talking about with, maybe when I was talking about commonality and things like Shakespeare, you know, that the you know, the tropes and the archetypes and the memes that exist in people's minds and stuff often come from literature and art, and it's an interesting concept as to how they then relate to society or people's perception, you know. Timothy says, yeah, the excuse of throwing cosplay items in a mud pit. That's awesome. Incubus, wish you were here. So Incubus do a version of Wish You Were Here. I will have to listen for that. But I'll so you joined. We came up with the idea to do a music club. So once a month we pick a song and everyone sort of learns it on whatever instrument they play. So Timothy, if you've got a song, Wish You Here's already on the list. If you've got a song that you think is a classic song that's a 3 to 4 minute song, let us know. That occasional pith helmet adventurer in a quicksand pit. That's classic. Are you sure? Says hi, Timothy. Timothy says, okay, I fibbed. Hello again, sure. Timothy says, wow, time flies fast. It certainly does. Timothy says that would be a theory as to how the subconscious tries to wash, rinse, repeat. Kelly Clarkson. That's an interesting quote you got there. I really like that. Are you sure? Says time zone will be a challenge. It's 6 hours 15 minutes AM by me. It's 9:25 here PM. Are you sure? Says time zone will be a challenge. Oh no, I just read that. Timothy says timing can be so subtle. That's a beautiful quote there. I like that, what you just said. Timing can be so subtle. I think timing, everything comes down to timing with a lot of things. Timing is crucial in so much. You plant seeds in the ground a week early or a week late, then you're not going to get plants that grow or make it to harvest. Or, and it could be said about so much. Timing is very crucial. I think I look at a lot of things with my problems and failures, and timing has been an aspect where I failed with things. I either rushed things or attempted them at the wrong time. So, sometimes timing can just be natural and it works out right. And that's when things, when the timing is right because the things happen. That there's that aspect to it. And so you can either be educated or intuitive, or you can be fortuitous. It can be just pure luck. So there's certainly a dynamic with that. Red Rose says, my dear MJG, no worries, my friend. Completely understand. I'm sending you a really big hug, my friend. Yeah, me too, MJG. Like, totally. You're an amazing person. So good. So glad to know you. And, consider you a friend. And it's really special to me to be able to say that about a lot of you people that I've just met, and the longer I know you, the more I can, the more I feel a connection, and it's special. Red Rose says, hey, Timothy. So, yeah, look at that. I finally caught up with the chat. It only took 3 hours and 19 minutes. So, I don't know, like, I've really enjoyed tonight. It's been another amazing evening. I got to speak about stuff that I'm really excited about. Are You Sure is going to be my next student, where I get to practice being a teacher. And that's really important for me. And I appreciate it so much because I can officially start being a teacher in February. And I need to have done enough practice teaching by then to be confident enough to know that I'm good at it. It's not that I can not it's not just that I can do it. I've got to be good enough at it to actually make a difference, to actually be able to, it does make a difference being good at it. And I've had good feedback so far. My teacher really liked my submission for the audio that I submitted for as part of the graduating exams. I'm getting good feedback from my first student, and also I've done a few mindfulness practices here on the live streams. So I've done breathing, and I've done breathing and open awareness, and I did the mountain meditation on yesterday, which everyone loved, and I really appreciate how everyone enjoyed that. And that just happened. It just happened. Someone mentioned something to do with the mountain, and I was like, "Awesome! I'm going to do it. I'll do this." And then everyone, the feedback from that was really great, and so I'm excited that this is something that I can actually do, and if I can help people learn how to do mindfulness, they can then do it. They can just practice it themselves. So awesome. Are you sure? Says mountain meditation was great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I'll do that again as part of one of our sessions, and I'll yeah, I look forward to this. Are you sure? I can't wait to get this email from you and like to work out when we can do the first session. So yeah, let me know what days of the week is best for you, and your time zone. I can't remember. Are you in Canada or are you in the States? I can't remember. I know it's either Starbright or Are You Sure's was in Ontario or something, and or you're in Oregon. Normally, I remember where people are, but it's as yeah, Montreal. There you go. Yeah, you're Canadian. That's exactly right. Awesome. So I'll write that down, and so I'll know what your time zone is, and then we can adjust and work out best, like what day of the what's your preferred days of the week, and then we'll just pick one day a week to do the session. Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, like 12 hours difference. There you go. So that's good. You know, um, I yeah. So my sleeping patterns change a bit. Like it's 9:34 now. It's too late for me to go to sleep now, so I'm up now until tomorrow morning. But then I don't have anything on tomorrow, So that means I'll probably go to sleep around 9 o'clock a.m. tomorrow. So there's a bit of sort of adjusting to everything, and I'm yeah, much appreciated, everyone here. Thank you so much, Aisha. Much appreciated. Yeah, before I go, I will bring up this app again that Aisha put me onto yesterday. It's called How We Feel. It's like, wait, I'll start it up again so you see that the heart with the it's called How We Feel. How are you feeling this evening? No, it's called How We Feel. So it's free on the App Store. And so this app is all about, I've only just started it, so I don't really know too much about it, but it's like a emotional health check. It's all about reading how you feel and getting to know more what emotions are, and emotions and feelings. So, you just start it up and it says, how are you feeling this evening? So you can check in, and I click check in, and then it's got like 4 regions: high energy, unpleasant; high energy, pleasant; low energy, unpleasant; low energy, pleasant. So, you got positive, negative, high and low energy. And I'm basically, I reckon I would say I'm high energy, pleasant. I've been speaking quite fast, and I've been speaking for 3.5 hours. When I first started chatting tonight, I was probably low energy, pleasant, and then I got higher and higher. So each quadrant then has a breakdown, and it's really interactive and cool. How it works, and so you've got all the different thoughts, feelings, and emotions that could be attributed to how you're feeling. And so, eager, enthusiastic, successful, determined. This is difficult because I'm a lot of things, because we've been chatting about so much stuff. I'm really enthusiastic because finding out that Are You Sure is going to do the 6-lesson mindfulness course with me. I appreciate that so much, because this is helping me to become a teacher officially. So as soon as I'm officially allowed to be a teacher, I feel like I will be qualified, because I'm getting the experience. So, so it then goes to the next thing, and it says, what were you doing when you felt enthusiastic? And it has themes: driving, eating, hanging out. We'll say hanging out. So themes, and then it has people, places. So I was hanging out with friends, and it has places: commuting, home, outside, school, work, plus. I might say plus and say live stream. So you can add to it. See, I added live stream in there at the bottom. So if the suggestion is not there, you can be specific. And obviously all this information then goes back to the people who made the app. So they say, from what I read, they're ethical. They're an ethical group, that they're not like just harvesting your data. So they respect your privacy. And says, describe what might be causing you to feel enthusiastic. Opportunity. and that's like so then it says share your emotions with friends. So you can share emotions with friends. So if I won't do that now, but if you've got friends who've got the app, I think you can add friends. So like, Are You Sure's got this app? We'll find each other, and then I can share emotions. So how cool is that? You could get a message. It's like, instead of getting a text message from someone, it'll be like you're getting an update of how someone's feeling. So it's then, see how it's showing a progression. It's got like an arc there. So it says check in, tools, friends, analyze. So I'll have a look at tools. So find your mood music. Music can be a powerful tool to shift your mood or access different feeling states. So, okay, so that's music, and it says you can start this activity, but then you scroll down and there's all these other things. So it's got best self, breathing, quotes, movement, emotions 101, mindfulness, reframing, connection, creativity. So each one's got different things. Creativity's got 5 videos, reframing's got 6 strategies, connection's got 7 videos, mindfulness has got 5 videos, emotions 101's got 10 lessons, quotes has got 128 affirmations, best self's got 3 tools, breathing's got 5 practices, movement's got 6 exercises. So I don't feel like doing the music right now, so I might look at the first thing, best self. So best self, it says an interactive exercises to help you improve your sense of self-worth. And so it has 3 things: best selfie, burn the negative, and it's got like a match, and then it has great full moments. So we'll see what best selfie is. Identify the inequalities you possess when you're at your very best. Imagine yourself at your best. So it says create a visual reminder of your inner superpowers. And then it has different categories, like as a friend, as a co-creator, as an artist, as a partner, co-worker. So, and then it has different affirmations, like I am loyal, respectful. They're moving too fast. So it says get specific. Best self. So maybe as an artist, because I'm getting back into art, and so in order to create a portrait of your best self, narrow your focus to one of the roles you most frequently play in your daily life. That's probably artist. We'll just say artist. Channel your strength. Choose 3 words that describe who you are when you feel best in this role. If you're struggling to think of strengths you already have, focus on the ones you aspire to have. And so it's got a whole bunch there. Compassionate, patient, caring, empathic, kind, loving, mindful, understand, ambitious, analytical, articulate, authentic, balanced, calm, collaborative, confident, creative, curious, dependable, determined, driven. So essentially, it's got the whole alphabet. Not necessarily the whole alphabet, but it looks like it is. But it's just because a lot of words got the same. So it says choose 3 words. So I'll say mindful. I'll say creative. Um, resilient. Yeah, resilient. I'll say there's three. So there you go. And it's creating the selfie. So it says mindful, creative, resilient. And then so I can take a photo. So it's asking me to use the app. Yes, I would say you can while I'm using the app. So then here we go. It's a selfie with some of my art behind me. And now it says use photo. So there you go. It's created like a selfie. And it's put the, it's powerful. Save on my tools, yep. So now it's sitting there in the app. So I guess this app, as you use it, you add to it, and it gets a greater picture of who you are, and your aspirations and qualities, and it's just great overall. It's got a lot in it. I'm actually going to start using this, and you can set it to check in, so it'll send you an alarm like 2 times a day. It'll say, "Hey, how you going?" And then take a bit of time to think about what you're doing. So it's basically says no one's in the chat anymore. So I'm going to end the stream now, and hopefully it's not like blank screen, but we'll find out when I watch the replay. So thanks everyone for being here tonight. Much love to everyone. Someone's joined back again. But yeah, like whoever's joined, I'm about to end the stream, and I'm just saying good night to everyone. Thanks for being here. And we'll catch up again soon. Might be next Sunday, might be Saturday, but I think it's sort of going to be just once or twice a week at the moment. And yeah, Happy Hermit's back. How you going? Night, dude. Happy Hermit. Good night to you, and thank you for heaps of stuff. Yeah, thank you for putting me on to Patreon, because that's going to help me self-publish my poetry book. So thank you for inspiring me to start that. So I've started a Patreon, and I'll put it on there. Red Rose says I'm still here. Awesome. So it was just the YouTube numbers were just saying that. So, but it's been a really awesome night. I've thoroughly appreciated everyone. Red Rose says bye all. Happy Hermit says night, dude. Thanks for being here. No problem. Glad to help. Thank you so much, Happy Hermit. Yeah, no, really appreciate you putting me onto that. So I'll send you a link to it, and I'll put it on my community page sometime soon, once I've sort of set up Patreon the way I think it'll work. So like you said, I'll have tier for pre-order the book, and then I'll like have a tier pre-order book signed copy, I might have a tier where it's like limited to like 2 or 3 people. If they want, they'll get acknowledgement in the book printed saying thank you for helping fund this project. So they get printed acknowledgement. It's exciting, and I'll have the mindfulness stuff so people can donate or sponsor a mindfulness lesson, which then I will offer free lessons to people, and this is down the track, So this means, because it is expensive. Like, it's like $100 a lesson to do. That's what I should be charging, um, and that's for an hour. So if a lesson goes for 2.5 hours, that's you know you don't usually don't charge that much, like when you do longer ones. That's why with things like mindfulness and meditation, doing group sessions, you can reduce the price. And so, like, it's not the same as training, where it's like one-on-one training where you've got full attention with the teacher. um, so yeah, if people donate to this mindfulness tier, there'll be money for me to get paid to, and then offer free training for people. And so people can apply. People that come to this channel who go, oh yeah, this is great, I'd love to learn mindfulness. um, and then I can take on one student each month, and they get, depending on how much money comes through with it. And I'll sort of make up the rest too. Like, I'll balance it out so that, if not many people are donating, I'll, you know, I'll throw in lessons for free. But at the same time, I do want to actually make a business of this, to where I get paid by people to do it. So, you know, we'll work it all out. And I don't know what, I'm just saying what the going rate for what they say you should charge for lessons. I think doing mindfulness training via internet, I don't think you should charge as much. In person, in person is should be, that premium rate. And because doing it online, there's less you've got to do. All I have to do is sit in front of the computer. I don't have to travel anywhere. um, I can charge less for the doing it. And so by charging less, I'll get more people wanting to do training as well. And so yeah, and also I can look at, a lot of people set up things where, if you do multiple sessions, you reduce the rate for each session. So if they're just going to do 1 or 2 sessions, you have the full rate. But then if they decide they want to do like a extended course in it, where they fully learn mindfulness over 6 or 7 sessions, then I'll reduce the rate, like dramatically reduce the rate, and that encourages people to then do the full course, and then they get most out of it, because then they're not just getting an introduction. You really do need to. It's like anything, like meditation and yoga and any of that. You can't really just learn it in one session. You got to do multiple lessons, and then it works. So anyway, I appreciate everyone being here and just listening to me tonight, and the feedback and encouragement. I just love it, and much love to everyone. Thanks for being here. We'll catch up again soon. And yeah, everyone's awesome. Everyone's means so much to me here. So thank you. And I love the hearts have been flying up into the sky all night. So thank you for all that as well. And thank you.